Charlottesville, where Virginia will try to punch its second straight ticket to Omaha. The Cavaliers used the long ball to win game 1 3-2, but today Oklahoma will try to stay alive and force a decisive game 3 tomorrow. Another hot, sunny day in front of a sold-out crowd in Charlottesville. It's time for baseball. Welcome to the NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Game 2 of the best of 3 Super Regionals between Virginia and Oklahoma. UVA coming in as the number 5 national seed, the first time they have ever been a national seed, taking on the Sooners, who have to win today to force a Game 3 tomorrow. 8 teams will advance on to Omaha. The winner of this Super Regional takes on the winner between South Carolina and Coastal Carolina. Arizona State, your number 1 seed, over on the other side of the bracket. The first team to get in last night, the University of Florida, who finished off Miami, the World Series, beginning on Saturday. And we welcome you back to Charlottesville. Pam Ward, along with Nick Belmonte, who was the SEC single-season stolen base leader, and former minor leaguer Jay Walker. Now, the University of Virginia really got off to a terrific start yesterday. Their leadoff guy, home run, Phil Gosselin.
Well, John and Kate aren't the only Goslins with 8 dependents. Phil Gosselin has 8 guys following him in the lineup that are depending on him to set the tone, and he did just that yesterday. Leads off the ball game, just like he did against Steven Strasburg a year ago with a home run. This is a welcome to Charlottesville, Oklahoma Sooners. That set the tone. This is a guy that has a flair for the dramatics. Look at the numbers on the season: 96 hits, 379 batting average. He keeps this up, he's going to get his own reality show.
And he set that single-season hits record yesterday. Now, Jay, this Oklahoma team usually much more potent offensively, but their big 3 really struggled. They got no hits yesterday.
Oklahoma's a team that relies on team offense. They're not the powerful hitters that you look for. So when you've got a team that specializes in small balls, you got to do one thing. You've got to be able to hit. And they did not hit yesterday when it counted. Look at their number 3, 4, and 6 hitters. That's Garrett Buechele, Cody Wren, and Cameron Seitzer, combined 0 for 12. They were facing a tough pitcher in Danny Holton, who was on fire, but they've got to produce. To shuffle that lineup a little bit to get them going, Coach Sonny Galloway has moved Seitzer down in the lineup, hoping they can produce some offense where they need it the most.
So they are tweaking the lineup, trying to stay alive. Virginia and Oklahoma coming up next. We are back at Davenport Field in Charlottesville. First pitch about to be delivered to Phil Gosselin for Virginia. The Cavaliers won yesterday 3-2. Gosselin with a lead-off home run. He is facing Zach Neal. And Neal misses outside, Jay.
When you talk about Zach Neal, you see the statistics right there. He's a guy who has a low 90-mile-an-hour fastball. His slider is a strikeout pitch, and he's got a deceptive change. But more importantly, he can throw all 3 pitches for strikes when needed.
Second team all Big 12 performer, gets the second one in, and he has been considered the ace of the staff coming into this game.
Yeah, it was interesting. They saved him for the game 2, and they asked the Virginia hitters yesterday if they thought they should be disrespected, and they said no comment.
Gosselin, another lead-off hit, this time a single. Let's take a look now at the Coke Zero starting lineups for Virginia. For the 7th straight game, the exact same batting order. They only did that twice during the regular season. Gosselin, the guy that gets them going. This is a team that hits .333 as a team during the season.
And we know Virginia can run. Right-handed pitcher right here. To get a good jump off of him, let's see what Brian O'Connor decides to do early in this ballgame.
Gosselin, in fact, leading them with 18 stolen bases in 22 attempts. Keith Werman, the second baseman, up. Puts down the bunt. They're excellent at this. Michelle is able to throw him out, but it's a sac bunt that moves Gosselin to second.
And he'll get the glad hand all around from his teammates. This is as good as getting an RBI right here in the minds of Brian O'Connor and the Cavaliers. Look at him, glad hand all around, doing his job, playing small ball, perfect technique. Goes down, lowers the knees to go get that bunt. Perfectly placed right there, and they're in business. 2 hitters, runner in scoring position.
In that respect, Oklahoma and Virginia mirror each other. Oklahoma had a couple of sacrifice bunts yesterday. So Gosselin on second with 1 away. Here's Dan Grovat. He was the other hero, a 2-run home run in the 6th inning. that gave Virginia the 3-2 win.
It was Grovet that they asked the question to. Do you feel disrespected? Well, here's the home run from yesterday. Grovet ended up being the game winner. Two-seamer that was supposed to be inner third, just a little off the plate, tailed back in over the plate, and he just squared it up. And when they asked him about it, he said, "Are you going to be disrespected by throwing her number one?" He said, "Absolutely." And then they said, "You want to expound on it?" He goes, "I think I've said enough."
Yeah. Hoping that his bat will do the rest of the talking today. Takes the strike. Michael Rocha was terrific. In fact, both starting pitchers were very good yesterday. UVA's Danny Holtzen going 8 innings to pick up his win.
Well, let's take a look at Michael Rocha there. Michael Rocha did a good job of taking the crowd out of the game early. Danny Holtzen was phenomenal yesterday. That's his best stuff I've seen him have all season long, and he was just playing with the Sooner hitters at times. 9 strikeouts, had them guessing all throughout the game.
And you're right, Jay. 2 mistakes Rocha made. That was it. 2 bad pitches.
Costly mistakes, but
yeah, solo homer and a 2-runner.
One-two pitch on the way to Grovet. And he gives that a charge into the gap in right center off the wall. Virginia takes the 1-0 lead on Grovet's RBI double.
Well, when he said, "I think I've said enough," he meant it. He said, "I'm going to show you tomorrow," apparently, because this is a fastball in, turns on it, one of the deepest parts of the ballpark, gets the crowd in early, gets Virginia on top, and Grovet, a guy who was the ACC most valuable player in the 09 ACC tournament, loves postseason play. That's when he shines.
See the location of that pitch? That was around the same area of the plate where he took one out of the yard yesterday. Today, just took it to the deepest part of the yard and missed by a couple feet from taking it over the fence.
UVA, just like yesterday, scoring a run in the first inning. Here's Stephen Prosher, their third baseman, who did not get a hit yesterday. Virginia only had 7 of them, but 2 of them were dingers.
And this is the point of the game where we're going to see what Zach Neal's made of. Yesterday, Michael Rocha, similar situation, gave up an early run, but he was able to take the crowd out, get a couple key outs when he needed it to keep his team in the game. Right now, let's see if Zach Neal has that same type of composure to not let this thing get away from him early.
Throw back, Grovet able to get in under the throw.
Neal, a guy known for his command, led all of junior colleges a year ago. Howard Junior College out of Texas in least amount of walks. So you know he has great command, and he's got to put that ball right where he needs, inner third, outer third.
That one nips the corner. In fact, he won a national championship last year in junior college.
Yeah, Grand Junction, that great JUCO tournament. This is the outer third, right on the corner.
Look at that changeup. Completely falling off the mound there, making it difficult for the hitter to see and the outside portion of the plate. And that's what you have to be able to do. If things get tough, down and dirty, you got to be able to come up with a key pitch with great location. And Zach Neal showing why that changeup he has is so deadly.
Also gets a piece of it. Travis Katzenmeyer behind the plate. Chuck Lyon at first, Fred Cannon at second, and Mike Conlon, our third base umpire today. They did a good job in yesterday's game. There's Katzenmeyer.
That game that was crisply played, somewhere around 2 hours and 40 minutes.
They throw back, and Grovet again was able to get underneath the throw of Neal. Yesterday's game was delayed an hour and 55 minutes because of a rainstorm that came rolling through Charlottesville. And we're hoping to avoid that same fate today, but there are showers around. Second baseman Danny Black playing cat and mouse there with the base runner. That's out of play.
Staying with off speed.
When we talk about yesterday's game, talking to both coaches, they both felt like it was unfortunate somebody had to lose that game. That was a very well played game, and Both pitchers went out there, did a good job. In that case there, it's unfortunate where, to quote Coach Galloway, unfortunately, a team full of student athletes had to walk away with as a loss. And Oklahoma happened to be on that end of the bargain yesterday.
Yeah, Sonny said nobody lost, somebody won.
Sonny Galloway, the head coach at Oklahoma, now in his 6th season. Swing and a miss.
Dandy slider. And that was great. Man right there.
Ryan O'Connor now in his 7th season in charge of the Virginia Cavaliers, 2-time ACC Coach of the Year, including this year. They've won a new school record 51 games this season. What a job he has done. And there's Coach Galloway for Oklahoma.
Great job he did. A very young team, lost a ton of players to the draft in 09.
So now 2 away. Jarrett Parker, the very talented center fielder, one of 9 Virginia players that were drafted this year. He was a 2nd-round pick by the Giants.
Starting to get a little concerned here, worrying about a runner that he doesn't have to worry about. This is not a stolen base situation. You got a left-handed hitter up. If they try to steal 3rd here, you just go ahead and let them take your shot. You can't worry about it. Parker yesterday uncharacteristically got called looking twice. So maybe just not as aggressive as he has been during the year.
Both times he was caught looking inside fastball. So, and you see right away, Oklahoma going to do the same thing, continue to try and press him hard inside, busting him up on the inside, then pitching off speed away.
Parker's a guy, 16 home runs a year ago, 10 this year, but in his own admission, he goes, I hit 6 off of that big blue wall in center field that could easily have gone out.
A huge hitter's back.
Look at that. You got to hit that about 500 to get it over.
And Parker admits that he's a much more consistent hitter, and his head coach O'Connor agrees with that assessment. That's a solid base hit. Here comes Grovac rounding 3rd as the ball gets to the wall. 2-0 Cavs, and Parker is digging for 3rd. The throw to Buechele, and he is out. Parker a little bit too aggressive on the base pads. And an RBI double, and Virginia takes a 2-0 lead into the bottom of the 1st inning. Grovac with an RBI double, and a couple of batters later, Parker drove him home.
The NCAA Baseball Super Regionals is presented by Capital One Venture Card, official credit card of the NCAA Men's College World Series. And in part by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And Golden Corral. For the first time ever, Golden Corral is offering unlimited baby back ribs, all for around $10.
We are back at Davenport Field, a beautiful facility on the campus of the University of Virginia. And UVA with 2 runs in the top of the 1st as we take a look at the Coke Zero starting lineups for the Oklahoma Sooners, coming in here with 47 wins. And Sonny Galloway, their head coach, likes to move his lineup around. And boy, he made a lot of changes today.
Yeah, he really did, and that's something he's done all year long. He doesn't like to have teams say, okay, they're going to lead off with this guy and they can set everything. He likes to change it around, throw a little deception into the other dugout.
With Robert Morey is the pitcher for the Cavaliers.
Well, this guy has electric stuff. 94-mile-an-hour fastball, great slider, about 84, and this kid can be nasty. He's a no-hitter, Hatton. You know, could be at any time with this guy out on the mound. In fact, the last 3 ACC games, he had no hitters going into the 6th inning.
And he starts the first batter, Chris Ellison, off with a strike. Ellison, the sophomore from right there in Norman, where Oklahoma is located, 1 for 3 yesterday. Got the final out yesterday with 2 on when he struck out against Orico, the closer. That one goes out of play. Crowd sitting on the hill, another overflow crowd. It seats about 4,800, but there's got to be at least 5,000 people in here.
And they talked about it. He said if they had 10,000, they probably would have sold that out too. The whole city's here.
1-2 pitch on the way to Ellison. Gets over the glove of Valdez.
Look how electric that pitch is right there. In that stretch I talked about against Duke, North Carolina, and Miami, his last 3 ACC starts, he went 27 innings, only surrendered 11 hits. He had 21 strikeouts in that span. Look at the numbers in the last 5 starts. Just short of dominant.
He has won 5 of 6 starts heading into the NCAAs. Ellison plants that one for a single in front of Gosselin. So both teams lead off their first innings with hits. Well, let's go back to the last inning, and Garrett Parker leads Virginia with triples, and he just got a little bit too aggressive.
Well, what happened is he hits the ball right on the screws, and as he's rounding first base, he picks up the coach late, right when he was at second base. But, you know, you have to tip your cap. You know, you don't want to make that third out of third base, but you got to tip your cap. It was a great relay for Oklahoma.
His 18 career triples are #1 in UVA history as he puts the shades on, trying to battle the sun. Max White, the left fielder, moved from 7th to 2nd in the lineup today. Valdez does a good job of keeping it in front of him.
Going back to that Parker double, getting thrown out of third, one thing you have to know when the game starts is you're talking about 2 teams that play great defense. You know, both of these teams are ranked in the top 15 in the country in fielding percentage defense. Respect your opponent sometimes and know, you know, if you try and stretch out a double into a triple, a good defensive team is going to throw you out at third base, and you never make that third out at third base. Not a good sign.
Another ball in the air. Drifting over from left field, Gosselin giving way to Parker. That one was in the air a long time, first out.
You saw what he had to do. He had to play the sun right there. You see him looking up. He played it off to the side. Very tricky play right here. In outfield, that ball will get lost. Now watch, he's going to turn his body and play it off to the side just to make sure that he has that glove to help him out. That play was a lot more difficult than it looked. It wasn't a routine fly ball.
Brian O'Connor says that Parker is as good a center fielder as he has ever had. We saw him make a terrific catch yesterday and battling the sun to get the first out today. Here's Garrett Buechele, hitless yesterday, the #3 hitter.
I think what you saw in Buechele was in yesterday's game, he fell behind early in the count and was chasing balls, chasing high fastball after high fastball yesterday. Starting off today, same thing, getting behind in the count. Let's see if he has a discipline to stay off the high stuff, because they pitched him high yesterday once they got him down early in the count.
Ellison is the best base stealer on first base, but he stays put.
And Morey with that 94-mile-an-hour fastball, very quick to the plate, just over 1 second, about 1.112. But talking to Sonny Galloway, he says, you know, we think we can run on this team. We're going to exploit it when we can.
They did steal a couple of bases yesterday, had a double steal that worked.
Another thing on Buechele, looked like he was sitting on breaking ball early in the count yesterday, and then when they were able to sneak some fastballs by him, he was late on some swings. And talking to Coach Galloway, he says, you know, he's the kind of guy, he'll turn it around and could be the next pitch, next at bat, but we definitely need him.
He's in the top 10 in 6 major offensive categories in the Big 12, but was collared yesterday. 1-1 pitch on the way. First, Ellison goes back to first. The son of Steve Buechele, the former major leaguer, and Garrett, drafted by the Rangers, one of his dad's teams. And that hits him right on the left shoulder. 2 on, 1 out.
Well, it's so important right here. If you score a few runs and you're 1 game away from Omaha, you got to shut down the opposition. This is a fastball, just gets away from him. And right now, Oklahoma with a great opportunity to put some runs up.
This will be something they need to capitalize on. I mean, you know, one thing when I talked to Coach O'Connor, you know, he reiterated the point to us, in order for us to close out Oklahoma today, we're going to have to do something special. You know, they're not going to come in here and just lay down for us, so they're going to need a special performance, whether that's from Morey showing that electric stuff and keeping them off the base pass, or defensively coming up with putouts when they need it. don't think that the Sooners are going to go down without much fight.
That was very interesting what happened right there. They ran a towel out to the mound because of the humid conditions here. His hands was sweating so profusely, they actually toweled off the wrist and the hand.
And Phil Gosselin, the left fielder, just got a pair of sunglasses handed to him.
Yeah, that sun field right now is just really tricky for the outfielder.
And there's it's really hot.
He's got the
humid, typical. Chance of thunderstorms. We had storms that came through yesterday, delayed the game for an hour 55, the start of the game, but at least it discernibly cooled this place off because it was like an oven in here. So now 2 on, Tyler Ogle, the catcher, stepping in. He's been moved up to cleanup, flopped over from the 5th position yesterday.
Hit the ball hard as anybody on the club yesterday and got rewarded for it.
He was 2 for 4 and scored a run. Is hitting .400 in the NCAA tournament.
One of his outs is a solid line out to left.
Leaving men on base has been a problem for Oklahoma. They left 8 on yesterday, and how about leaving 44 men on base through their first 4 NCAA games? That has been a major problem for Coach Galloway and company.
GTMI, get the man in. You see that a lot of big league teams. I know Tampa Rays have that on their shirts they wear in batting practice. GTMI, all about getting these runners home. That's going to be key.
The 2-1 pitch to Ogle with 2 men on. Ellison on second, Buechele on first. And that's a gapper. Parker's able to cut it off, but Ellison is able to score easily. Buechele over to third on the RBI single by Ogle, who remains hot.
That's exactly what the Sooners needed to answer this 2-run first inning by Virginia in front of their home crowd. This is a huge lift, and he's been the best hitter so far. Takes a pitch outer third, goes with it. Hips just follow where the ball goes. It's a nice play here by Parker on the backhand. Let's save the pace. Scoring easily is Ellison.
Parker, the great fielder, probably did save a run. Buechele staying at third after the ball was cut off, but still UVA in a bunch of trouble. Only 1 away. Still runners on the corners for Cody Wren. Cleanup man yesterday, now hitting 5th.
Well, there's a changeup here. In everything away yesterday, slider from Holtzen, left on left, he was chasing. Now they throw him off changeup, and that's a pitch that Morey doesn't throw a lot of. He throws him changeup going away again from the left-handed hitter, so that looks like the pattern.
And Wren pounds that ball
on the curve
into the bleachers. A 3-run shot for Cody Wren. The Sooners clear the bases and take the 4-2 lead.
And that pitch was up and in. He squares this pitch up. Look how quick his hands are right here. Pitches on him, crushes it.
That's one there that almost left the yard there. Take a look at this breaking ball. Just starts off eye level, drops to about the waist-high belt line. That's not where you want to miss with a curveball. Good hitter's going to make you pay. And we talked about Cody Wren and guys like Buechele having the ability to adjust and get on base today. Well, they're showing that they take coaching well, and they came to play today.
That's a huge lift right there. What a great answer for the Sooners.
Caleb Bushy had the shortstop, also moved around from 9th to 5th in the lineup. Bushy had yesterday 1 for 3 with a walk, did strike out a couple of times. But the starting pitcher, Robert Morey, in a whole lot of trouble. Already down 4-2 and still only 1 out. That should be the 2nd out. Gosselin, who just got the sunglasses a batter ago, collects it for the 2nd out.
Yeah, he's got the sunglasses, he's got the eye black, he's got it all going.
Second baseman Danny Black hitting 7th today after hitting in the second spot yesterday, so he's been moved down in the order. Virginia wins. They go to Omaha for the second straight season. We're in Charlottesville, Virginia for the Super Regional between the number 5 national seed Virginia Cavaliers and Oklahoma. UVA won yesterday 3-2, got up 2-0 in the first inning here, but Oklahoma has answered with 4 runs. Danny Black flies out to end the inning, but Cody Wren, after going 0 for 4 yesterday, came up with 2 men on in the first, and he blasted off against Robert Morey for a 3-run shot. It's 4-2 Sooners. Welcome back to the NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Offense already 4-2 here in the first inning. Yesterday's game 1, Phil Gosselin got Virginia going.
Well, that set the tone early, but I'll tell you what, Roaches did a nice job for Oklahoma. Base hit made it close right there, scoots through, and right at that point looked like Oklahoma was going to have the comeback victory after the second run here. But, well, he's our hero, Dan Grovat. A pitch that was meant to be in, held over the plate, and that was our story.
Grovat with that 2-run home run won it in the bottom of the 6th inning. But Oklahoma has countered with a Cody Wren home run, a 3-run blast, to answer the 2 put up by Virginia in the top of the first. We talked about it in the open, how Wren and the rest of one of the big 3 had to get it going, and boy did Wren ever do it. And they didn't leave anybody on base, which has really been bugging them. This is John Hicks, the first baseman for Virginia.
This is key right here for Zach Neal to throw a 0 up there.
Hicks, the first baseman, shared catching duties and in fact caught for 2.5 weeks when Franco Valdez was out after having his knee scoped. But now Hicks is back at first. Tyler Cannon. Check that Caleb Bushyhead throwing him out for the first out of the inning. Coverage of the road to Omaha continues on ESPN2 tonight with more Super Regional action. Alabama tries to close out their series against Clemson. The NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One on ESPN2 tonight at 7 Eastern Time.
Still surprised. You see Alabama there, the fact that they made it, that regional they had with Georgia Tech. I mean, wow. Deck McGuire was just throwing darts, beat him one day. The toughness of that Crimson Tide club to go down there and win at Georgia Tech. 2 games in a row, which they had to do in order to advance, and showing that they're still on fire. You know, I guess this time of year it's about having that momentum, and the Crimson Tide, they don't care about regular season SEC championships. They just want to continue their season in the postseason, and they're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, they pushed LSU to a final game in the SEC title game. Coming through those SEC wars, they're battle tested.
Georgia Tech, the 8th national seed, did not make it to a Super Regional, nor did Louisville at number 7. Cannon falls behind 0-2, but takes that for a ball.
Tyler Cannon has played more games in a Cavalier uniform than anyone that went through the program. So, team captain, solid hitter. Tried to make him a switch hitter a couple years ago.
Goes down swinging, 2 quick outs.
Here's what I like, what I'm seeing off of Zach Neal. He's pounding him in, not afraid to throw these pitches in.
That high leg kick and that knee. It's kind of rare you see a starter pitcher with that right knee touching the dirt, but it's effective for him.
Virginia's catcher Franco Valdez talked about his knee surgery. He's come back and has caught every inning of the NCAA tournament.
This is a guy where this is his time of year. You know, he's one of those guys that regular season you can throw it out. I mean, last year regular season so-so. Got the postseason, was their go-to guy. Came up with some clutch hits versus Ole Miss.
It was 1 for 3 yesterday, sends that one in the air. Chris Ellison shading his eyes and gets it right at the lip of the warning track. So after getting 2 runs in the first, a nifty 1-2-3 inning for Zach Neal and the Sooners. Oklahoma in a must-win game for them, leading Virginia 4-2. And as a Virginia fan who has come up with the Big 12 whittled down to the Big 10 with all of the news that it looks like Texas and Oklahoma will be leaving the Big 12 conference, and Oklahoma President David Boren and their athletic director Joe Castiglione met with the Pac-10 Commissioner Larry Scott, and the Board of Regents at Oklahoma going to have a special meeting on Wednesday, the same for Texas on Tuesday. And it looks like they are heading for the Pac-10. Nebraska already official that they're going to the Big 10. So this is monumental, this shakeup that is happening.
It definitely is. And, you know, the thing that concerns me the most is, I mean, let's be honest, these are football decisions being made. You know, I think each one of these conferences is interested in capturing the BCS dollars out there and making football decisions, and they don't realize the effect it's going to have on the other sports, some of the non-revenue sports. And, you know, their whole landscapes are going to be changed as well.
I know from a baseball perspective, the Big Ten will get one of the greatest college stadiums in the country, Haymarket Park in Hawks Field in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Sonny Galloway, when we talked to him about it the other day, he said his concern was for teams that don't play in the power conferences and what happens to those programs, baseball programs.
And I think that's a direct reflection. You know, Coach Galloway's background comes from Oral Roberts, and once upon a time he was the head coach at Oral Roberts, and they were what you would call that mid-major. And what do you do when you got these mega conferences and you've got to use your whole regular season to basically play conference baseball? You know, how are they going to get an opportunity to play, to see how they can measure up against some of these larger conferences? And when it comes to postseason slots, how are you going to justify who gets in and who gets out?
What you're talking about, Jay, is you have a shot at some RPI points that now you won't be able to get because of it. And also impacts the ballparks when you're able to bring a big Division I team in from a major conference. And you might not be able to do that anymore.
But speaking of RPI, though, you know, one thing about it, when you talk to Coach Galloway about it, he said, whoa, if we were to join one of these conferences like the Pac-10, he says, wow, our RPI would go through the roof.
It would be a great baseball conference now, wouldn't it, with all those powerhouses out west? See how that all shakes down. Eric Ross, the DH in the number 9 spot, was a pinch runner yesterday, and he draws the 1-out walk. Off of Robert Morey.
And DHing today is Ross, and we know he can fly. He took off in the 9th inning, stole a base yesterday. Ryan O'Connor's trying to figure out what's going on with his starter, who has been dominant as of late.
And that's one of those things there where, you know, most times when you get a change in your DH, you're going to do it for power. In this case, they're doing it for some speed on the base pass. I mean, Ross is a hitter, you know, bats about 215 in that range there, but they want to get him on the base path. With a skip ball there and a guy that is looking for a reason to run, you don't want to skip it in the dirt. And Ross is making him play. And you can tell right away that this Oklahoma team's coming out playing Oklahoma baseball, swinging the bat aggressively, running every opportunity that they can get.
There's a slider and just got away from Valdez right there. That would have been a tough play because Oklahoma's a team very aggressive. When they see the ball in the dirt, they take off. I think Ross would have taken off either way.
It's a wild pitch on Morey, so he gets to second the easy way. Ellison singled and scored in the first inning.
Morey's stuff right now, I mean, he's got the electric arm. I mean, there's no question about it. It's very lively, but it seems very erratic right now. I mean, no command of the strike zone. He's all over. He's missing high, missing low, and doesn't have his command, it seems.
And no command of the secondary stuff. The slider, he hasn't placed it well at all.
Not misplaced well.
It's dead red.
Just when we start to question, then he comes through and throws a perfect pitch. But the key is, okay, now we've seen the fastball. How are you going to do with the secondary pitches?
Right, he pitches everything off that fastball. And you throw 94, that's what you do.
He did swing at that one.
That's an 80 plus mile an hour slider. These are hard to lay off of. The bat travel past him easily is.
Crowd getting into it on the 1. Check a 2-2 count. With the speedy Ross on second. Got him. First strikeout of the day for Morey.
Well, you throw him a couple off speeds, and that 90-mile-an-hour fastball is going to look 100. Ouch. That's cheese on the corner.
Great location. That's why, that's the good thing about having a live arm. That, when things start to get tough on you, you've got the ability at any given point to go up there and just strike out the next opposing hitter. And Moore's showing you why he was a draft pick and why that arm is so electric.
Now it's up to Max White, who flew out to center his first time up. Morey was a 5th-round pick of the Marlins, one of a record 9 Cavaliers to be drafted this year.
How about this young man, Max White? Just a freshman, but wow, he played above and beyond yesterday. Of all the Oklahoma hitters, he was the one that came to play. Didn't seem like he was phased to be playing postseason baseball, and he's got a bright, bright future ahead of him.
He's a guy that all year long the coaches came up to Sonny Galloway and said, "Where'd you find this kid?" Durant, Oklahoma. His high school coach used to work Sonny's, or does work Sonny Galloway's camps, and tipped him off. And this kid wanted to be a Sooner his entire life and got the chance.
Got a peek at Cody Winarski, who's warming in the bullpen for Virginia. And one good thing about what happened to Virginia yesterday, they didn't have to use their bullpen. Hultzen going 8 innings, and then Enrico came in to pitch 1 inning to pitch the 9th to get the save, so they have all the fresh arms in the bullpen. 2-1 pitch taken low.
Well, their bridge guys, Tyler Wilson, it's a little bit early for him, but he's going to give you 3 innings somewhere, and he didn't throw at all yesterday.
Ross, who walked and took second on a wild pitch, still there. 3-1 coming to Max White, the freshman. Skies it in the air, and that finds the seats.
One thing about this stadium, if a ball's not in play, it's out of play.
A lot of foul territory, eh, guys?
Little or no room in foul territory. I don't know if I've seen the ballpark quite like it. I mean, there is no room.
Oh, just talking like a pitcher.
Every now and then you want the fly ball out. Those are like assisted outs right there. Here, you just don't get those things. Look at that, right along the line. You got about 10 yards.
See, the bullpen is right down the bullpen for Virginia, right down that first base line. Not a lot of room for those guys. Full count to White.
The reason why he faked the throw over there, usually in this situation with 2 outs, go after the hitter. But Ross actually took off the pitch before.
Is that because he just got such a good jump? It was
Well,
a free steal.
it's part of what they do. They like to draw that 2-strike throw to third base just in case you throw it away.
White pops this one up to the shortstop. Tyler Cannon camps under it for the final out. It remains 4-2 Oklahoma. Oklahoma up 4-2 in a game they have to win, and 7, according to Jay Walker, a magic number.
Yeah, Nick, I want to spring this on you to test your baseball IQ. Magic number 7 yesterday. Each one of these regionals, super regionals, the number 7 was involved. We're going to see how you do on this one. Pam, I'll give you the first crack at it. What would you say? If you see one of these, which one of these has a number 7 that stands
Well,
out?
Oklahoma and Virginia 7 hits apiece, the game we did, right?
Pam's on to it.
Miami, 7 errors.
There you go. That's one. Coastal Carolina, can you think of anything there? You got it? Can you think of it, Pam?
7 pitchers?
They
There
used
you
7
go.
pitchers in the loss in Arizona State. They needed 7 runs in order to knock off Arkansas in extra innings. Magic number 7 yesterday.
What will the magic number be today? But how, Miami, 7 errors. They were dropping fly balls. Hey.
Yeah, it was not good.
And here's a number 7 leading off, John Barr for the University of Virginia, DHing, number 9 man.
take a look at that Coastal Carolina, South Carolina score. Imagine having to use 7 pitchers in a loss. I mean, when you're going to empty out your bullpen like that, you're trying to secure you get the win. Things aren't looking good down there in Myrtle Beach for Coastal.
Barr gets himself a leadoff single.
How about Barr? 372 hitter in the bottom of the lineup. On base percentage, 482. Gets the ball outer third.
Extends on it.
Does a nice job, these Virginia hitters, making these adjustments on these outside pitches, not rolling over them, but filleting them to the right side, opposite way.
What was that term you used? Filleting?
They filleted. They filleted
with a fine knife. The number 9 hitter's doing well pretty much all season for Virginia. Here's Phil Gosselin, who singled and then scored on Dan Grovat's RBI double. UVA with 2 in the first, but Oklahoma countered with 4 of their own in the bottom of the first.
What was the terminology that Coach O'Connor used to describe Phil Gosselin? I mean, he made it real simple. Hitter.
You're a hitter. He says he's the best hitter that they've had in this program since he's been there, and that includes some great hitters.
Gets another one, 2 for 2. Barr stops at second, 2 on, nobody out.
On that list, Ryan Zimmerman.
Yeah.
And he's saying he's considered even better than him when he's been there. No disrespect to Ryan Zimmerman.
A nice solid stroke on that pitch there.
Breaking ball, and he kept his hands back.
Gosselin now 4 for 6 in this Super Regional and continues to build on his single season school record. He had 94 hits coming into yesterday's game. Jarrett Parker, the current center fielder, had the old record.
Didn't have it for long either.
No. Along comes the Goose. And now along comes Keith Werman, the second baseman, and he is, to say the least, the favorite of Davenport Field. 5'7", according to the media guide.
And he's just a tough out. We talked about him yesterday. He's the spark plug for them. And
he got hit to load the bases.
Spark plug he is. I went up to him before the game and I said to Mr. Werman, I said, now tell me the truth. Your favorite player is David Eckstein, right? He goes, yes, sir, he is.
The sac bunt his first time up, squaring a bunt, he got plunked.
When you talk to the coaches about him, it seems as if he's a guy that's always coming up at a crucial situation. So not only is he a difficult out, but the stars just align where he's coming up in a situation where he can beat you, whether it's by getting hit by a pitch or getting that double to lead off the inning. But he's just a guy that the stars are aligning, and the name Werman at second base here at UVA, it's tradition.
His brother Kyle was here before him. Jack Mayfield now warming in the Oklahoma pen. A little conference on the mound. Mike Bell, the pitching coach for the Sooners.
Yeah, former FSU Seminole. Did some coaching at Tennessee and actually pitched for Coach Galloway in Kenai, Alaska in the summer leagues. That was their first time together. See Mayfield right now. Now they're getting somebody else up. It's getting serious. They've got to shut down Virginia right here. The crowd back in it.
And a very dangerous batter coming up. And Dan Grovat had the RBI double in his first at bat today and the game-winning 2-run homer yesterday. Let's go back to that double.
Now Grovat's the guy. He's Mr. Postseason. That's when he turns it on. That just stayed in the ballpark. Look at him go. He's the guy when they said to him in the meeting, they're not throwing their number 1, they're getting your number 1 on the second day. Do you feel slighted? He said, absolutely. He said, you want to expand on it? And he goes, no, I think I said enough. So
I think he said he'll let his hitting do the talking.
Well, he did the first time. He's got a golden opportunity here.
Bases loaded, nobody out. The red-hot Grovat,
pitched
first
him
pitch
inside
swinging.
again. He missed inside, and they were very fortunate he didn't hit that ball out of the yard.
Ellison grabs it. Barr tags and scores the 3rd run.
What we've seen him do is just hammer inside pitching. So take a look here. You're going to see the setup outside. Where's the ball go? Inside. He almost yanked that out.
Notice the catcher reaching over. When that happens, good things never follow. Misses location, as you said, Jay, got very lucky there.
And Grobat just missed it, but good enough for another RBI. Gosselin also tagged and ended up at third. So now runners on the corners with one away for Steven Proscia, who struck out swinging his first time up. Werman over at first, standing next to 6'5" Cameron Seitzer. That's quite a difference. Proscia, first pick swinging, sends Ellison over into the gap, tagging up and scoring. Gosselin. And Virginia has tied it up.
Great piece of hitting. Both hitters got something they can elevate in sac fly situations. You have to be impressed on the adjustments the Virginia hitters have made this inning. Not a bad pitch, a little up, but outer third almost off the plate, but just saw something he can elevate. Great job of hitting, knowing what you can do as a hitter and knowing the job at hand, and that's to get a fly ball.
Back-to-back RBI sacrifice flies for Virginia has tied this game up at 4 apiece. Again, if Virginia wins, they go back to the World Series for the second straight season and the second time in their histories. Jarrett Parker had an RBI double his first time up, but was thrown out when he tried to stretch it into a triple. And that ended the inning.
Well, we're seeing some sliders here thrown by Neal. Let's see if Brian O'Connor, with the off-speed pitch, starts sending his runner. Get him down there with 2 outs, get him in scoring position.
Werman is 10 for 15 in stolen bases down at first base. And there you see the height difference between Seitzer and Werman. Seitzer lanky at 6'5", Werman about 5'7" on a good day. Bluffed but didn't go. Nubbed off the end of the bat. And Neal was able to get a big out. But Virginia loaded the bases with nobody out. A couple of sac flies has tied this Super Regional Game 2 up. Coverage of the Road to Omaha continues on ESPN2 tonight with more Super Regional action. You will see either Arizona State take on Arkansas or Cal State Fullerton in a decisive Game 3 against UCLA, 10 Eastern on ESPN2. There is the bracket. We've had another upset. How about number 4, Coastal Carolina? South Carolina with 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th. They sweep away the Chanticleers.
I think Coastal was on upset alert. You know, they had to face those in-state rivals. I mean, in their regional, they had to take on the College of Charleston. Then, after squeaking by them, got to take on the Gamecocks. And season's over.
Garrett Buechele, who was hit by a pitch and then scored ahead of Cody Wren's 3-run home run in the first, is up. Garrett, the son of Steve Buechele, and we had an opportunity to speak with him a couple of days ago. Quite a delightful character he is.
Lighthearted, to say the least. There's Dad, who played at Stanford and roomed with John Elway.
We asked Garrett why he didn't go to Stanford, and he said, well, you know, that grade thing kind of got in the way.
He's not alone. There's a number of kids throughout the country that would love to go to Stanford, but what do you call it, that grade thing?
Yeah, the grade thing gets in the way. And at Stanford, to be a recruitable athlete, you've got to be admitted first before they can even recruit you, and that was his problem. But he has got a great sense of humor about it and ended up at Oklahoma, where he redshirted.
Well, he shows up, he and his dad, he said that his high school season was about done. And his dad said, you got to pick a school. And he goes, yeah, I guess I got to get around to doing that. It was like mid-June. And they drove down there and talked to Coach Galloway, and here he is. The funny thing, he was also telling us, he got an offer from Kansas and they wanted to make him a catcher. He said, I don't want to catch. He ends up redshirting his first year at Oklahoma. And he was the bullpen catcher. He goes, go figure. I ended up being a catcher anyway.
He said he was not highly recruited because he said he was fat, really not in shape, and just, you know, didn't take things seriously. Obviously, he's gotten himself into very good shape, and he's a draft pick now. Rangers taking him in the draft the other day. His dad's old team, and he draws a walk. He's been on base twice.
Yeah, and I like that. He got plunked the first time, but showing great patience here. And when you're a good hitter, you have a bad day, you flush that away, and it seems like he's seeing the ball a lot better today.
Just showing more patience. I mean, we talked about the fact that yesterday he just chased pitches out of the strike zone and kept chasing. I think he went, saw some film, studied, and realize, hey, if I'm going to swing, let me swing at strikes.
Yep, he was 0 for 4 with those 2 strikeouts yesterday.
And you got to figure he was amped up. First game, big crowd. That's part of his adrenaline rush, and probably just a little more calmer today being through that first day.
Tyler Ogle, the catcher, had a run-scoring single back in the first inning.
Showing bunt, pulled the bat back.
Right now, if you are Robert Morey, it's the same situation that Zach Neal was in before. Your team got you back in the game. You want to come in, get a 1, 2, 3 inning, let those bats get back to work, and not able to capitalize. Walks a batter, then comes out, throws another ball. So the command issues have been there for Robert Morey. He hasn't had the command he'd like to have today.
Failed to do that in the first inning when his team staked him to a 2-run lead. When I was managing the minor leagues, I had to think called the shutdown point rule. When my team scored, when we scored, I said to the pitcher, you got to shut down that team in the opposite dugout and throw a 0 up there the next inning.
Ogle shows bunt again. Throws back, takes the ball.
And at the end of the week, the pitcher with the most shutdown points got the fine money, so there was a little added incentive there.
What kind of fine manager were you? Were you a strict disciplinarian where that fine pot was kind of large, or was it kind of small?
Enough to make the shutdown points worthwhile, I'll tell you that. And the pitcher's mindset, every time we scored, I want a shutdown point. They had to be hungry to shut down the opposition.
2-0 pitch. Look at 3-0.
Yeah, he's definitely having issues with command. You see Ogle squaring around him. He's not bunting. Those are just, he's going to take, and they're just basically realizing that Morey is having difficulty throwing strikes right now and not helping his cause.
Winarski continuing to warm down in the bullpen for Coach O'Connor.
Winarski was their opening day starter in the ACC tournament. Did a nice job.
46 pitches already for Morey, who came into the tournament pitching well, but has scuffled so far today.
Ogle's showing bunt right there. Obviously, he's not going to be swinging here. When the hitter does that, you usually get the benefit of the doubt on a pitch called a strike by the umpire.
Still making the throw over to first base.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he doesn't think that the runner's going 3-0, nobody out.
And there's Cody Wren, who had a 3-run home run his first time up. He's on deck. Walked him on 4 pitches, guys.
And based on what I said, the umpire usually ring you up when you show bunt like that. That shows you how far off he was. And, you know, part of the reason why he probably threw to first base, that was coming from the dugout to get the pitcher a little more warmed in the bullpen, just to bide some time.
Back-to-back walks to start the 3rd inning. Last time Cody Wren was up, it was in the 1st inning. 2 guys were on, and he brought him home.
Hit a pitch that you're supposed to hit out the ballpark, a hanging curveball. He not only hit it over the fence, he tried to take it out of the stadium. Top row of the bleachers out there in the right center field.
Try to hit Monticello with that.
Valdez going out to have a conversation with Robert Morey. We were in Charlottesville, Virginia. Mr. Jefferson's University, the University of Virginia. Monticello, his home, not too far away from here at all. And now here comes the coach.
Well, Brian O'Connor looks like he's walking out there with some purpose here. Carl Kuhn usually will go out and talk, and Brian O'Connor goes out. Usually makes the move, but he hasn't done anything yet. He's gathering his team around. One of the things you talk about here in this situation is bunt defense, but he's just settling his club down. Yeah, he's making the move.
Waited until the home plate umpire, Travis Katzenmeyer, came out. So Morey only lasts 2 innings plus a couple of batters. Pitching change when we come back to Charlottesville. Virginia starter Robert Morey lasting only 2 innings plus 2 batters. He's responsible for the guys on the base paths. Cody Winarski, the junior from Wisconsin, now in the game.
Well, this is their command guy. I mean, this is a guy who's going to come in there and throw strikes. He's done that all year long. Fastball up around 92 miles an hour. And you talk to Brian O'Connor about it, he said when he's ahead of the count, he's just a different guy, very difficult to hit. And that's the kind of guy you need in this situation. The game's gotten away for the Virginia pitchers through the base on balls. That was Morey's undoing. He's brought in now to hit the commands, maybe get the hitter to roll over a pitch, get a double play, and start getting some outs.
And I think more importantly, when it seems like the UVA hitters have come to hit today, you just want a pitcher throwing strikes. Don't give up the base on balls. Takes a lot of time, cools off your bats. I think Coach O'Connor realized that just Maury didn't have his stuff today. Let's get a pitcher in there that's going to throw strikes.
Yeah, that's it. He's a strike throw command guy. And if he hits his spots, he's hoping that he gets a double play right here.
Wren hit a 3-run homer off the starter Maury in the bottom of the first inning, and he comes up with 2 men on this time. Maury with 3 walks and also hit a batter in his 2+ innings.
Not a good day at the office for Robert Maury. They're looking at that pitcher's line right there.
Wren squaring a bunt after he hits the home run.
How about that? And that looked like a bunt for a base hit. I mean, ideally right here, you want to, he's already out of the box, and that was his undoing right there. If he's bunting for a sacrifice, you want to stay in the box, just bunt it right at the third baseman, you'll get your completed bunt. Once you start running out of the box like that, your mechanics all fall apart.
Did he think he was going to leg one out? I mean, Wren's got some size on him now.
But he runs better in his size, but here, that looks better. That was a better mechanical approach to a sacrifice bunt right there. He showed it early. And again, the key here, because what Virginia's doing, they're playing it what's called straight up. First and third crash, middle infielders cover bases. So you want to bunt it right at the third baseman in this situation. He makes the throw and you complete the play. Now, college baseball changes from pitch to pitch more than the pros.
Throws to the third baseman in on the grass. Wren swings away that time.
There it is. The college baseball, it changes. Show bunt one pitch, swing away the next. That's the old Butcher Boy play right there. You know, Wren's a guy, you look at his size, he runs better than his size suggests. He has not grounded out in one double play all year long.
5'9", 217 pounds. 1-2 count on the way. Crowd wanted it but didn't get it.
The crowd didn't realize that almost hit him. You got to be careful throwing those lefties down and in like that. It's a wheelhouse for a lot of them.
Gets away from Valdez, but he's able to pick it up. The runners stay put. Full count.
Valdez really, once the ball gets away, watch him pounce on it. Keeps the runners where they are. And with nobody out, you don't want to chance it if you're a base runner in this situation. Valdez did make a nice play though.
Michelle on second. The catcher Tyler Ogle on first. And there you see it. He has not hit into a double play all season. Full count pitch on the way. Got him! Just nipped the corner for the first out of the inning.
Boy, Valdez just set up shop on the inside. They were pounding down and in. Showed bunt, showed it again. Butcher Boy play. They had the 1-2 count and misses with 2 inside fastballs, but they come right back in the third time. Fastball on the inner third. Nasty pitch, Jay.
I mean, very, very inside. You're close enough to where if he moves that front leg by an inch, it almost hits him. But when you're crowding a plate like that as a left-hander and the righty has a pitch with that type of movement, difficult to hit, strikeout.
Caleb Bushy had the shortstop, flew out his first at bat. That was against the starter Robert Maury, who has departed.
Now I think you start to see Oklahoma get aggressive on the base pass. I think, you know, with the last batter up there, Wren coming off and hitting a home run, may want to see what he can do. But now I think, you know, if you are going to play that small ball, this is the instance where you try to manufacture some base runners. Get around there, take away that, eliminate the option of that double play.
And I think, to your point, you would do it in a hit and run scenario here because Michelle, 3 for 4 on the season at stolen bases. You got the left-handed hitter up that gives Valdez a pretty clear throwing lane to go down to third base. I think if you start the runners here, you're going to have to swing away to protect. Get the middle infielders moving around. Well, here's your quintessential hit and run pitch right here.
Take a look here. The fans wanted this one. I think it might have painted the outside corner of that black there. Don't look at where the catcher caught it, but look at where it crossed home plate.
Let's see if Sonny Galloway puts him in motion.
Runners stay. Bushyhead hits it out of play.
Every game there's one or two at bats early that decide the tone of the game and where it's going. This is one of those times in this ball game. Bushyhead could really make it hurt right here with a base hit for a big inning, or a big out here could be recorded.
Sends that one deep, but well foul.
Wow.
That went a long way.
Yeah, he just missed that one. That looked like it was crushed, looked like it was a ball left up. And right there, Narski got away with it.
Bushyhead just with 5 home runs on the season. But he's second on the team in multi-hit games, has been a solid hitter all year round, and here's a crucial situation.
They're going to go away here. That was a mistake. Right before that pitch was thrown, Brian O'Connor came out and moved his left fielder over towards the line with the intention that you're going to go away. That pitch was not thrown where it was intended.
Second straight batter that Winarski has faced, and the second straight batter in which the count that has gone full.
Now does Sonny Galloway start his runners 3-2? Coach's decision right here.
Danny Black waits to hit.
Would not surprise me if he did. You may see Winarski fake a throw to second base just to see.
Bushyhead up the middle, and it is not gathered in by Cannon. The shortstop coming around to score is Buechele. Ogle into third.
I'm talking about early in the ball game, there's that one at bat that sets a tone of where this game's going, and it's saying this. See, there's the outside pitch he was looking for the pitch before, and he was able to get it right up the middle through the hands, up the middle. Nice piece of hitting. That ball was hit on the nose. Cannon almost made a nice play.
Yeah, I thought Cannon was going to come up with that one, and it was hit firm enough where they would have had the possibility to turn 2, but that close from either getting out of the inning or extending the inning, and Oklahoma regains the lead.
Runners on the corner, still 1 out, and they have given Bushyhead credit for a hit on that play. Virginia usually rock solid on defense, and that's been ruled a hit.
Well, that's a tough one there, you know, going out. If he can just keep that ball within the infield, then you're forced to just have the runner stay at third base compared to rounding home plate. You still can keep the run off the board, but because Cannon wasn't able to get to it, it's an RBI and a base hit.
And you can do things here right now. Sonny Galloway in the driver's seat, what he can do. Now, sometimes you can do a hit and run and with runners at first and third, and how you play that is you have the runner at third just play it straight up. He doesn't move. But the runner at first runs a hit and run with the hitter, creating a hole in the defense.
Trying to keep Bushyhead close at first.
And do remember this, Oklahoma not afraid to drop a sacrifice safety squeeze in this situation as well. A little bit more difficult with the left-handed hitter, however.
Ogle, the catcher, is on third. Bushyhead second in steals on this team with 12 and 19 attempts this year, so he has some speed over there.
I think he goes ahead does Sonny Galloway, and gets something in motion, creating a hole in the defense. Bunt right there, and if that was a safety squeeze, the runner at third's job is not to do anything till the ball is laid on the ground.
So all goes back to think about how quickly the Cavaliers lost momentum. They just tied it up.
Yeah.
Make it a tie ball game, then Moore comes out.
Right, there's that shutdown point that you lost. The momentum now back in Oklahoma's dugout.
2 walks. It's a long inning, going to be even longer.
Lenarski can't find the plate. 3-0.
And the reason why, he's in a situation where he has to think about a lot of things. Location, pitch selection, runner at first. He's got himself in trouble, and the pressure's starting to mount on him. And as a hitter, that's how you have to see it. You're up there going, he's got to get me out. Runners on the corners, there's only 1 out. The Sonny Galloway here roll the dice and green light him 3-0. That's another decision he's got to make. Wheels are turning.
Took it for the first strike. 8 runners left on yesterday, and they've come through with runners in scoring position today. They've left only 1 on. They left 1 on back in the second inning. Of course, it's still only the 3rd inning in a game that's already gotten long. Swinging away, drifting over. Goslin. Ogle tags. And scores the 6th Oklahoma run as the throw came into the cutoff man.
Job well done by Black. Found a pitch he can elevate. Danny Black gets an RBI. So forget about leaving runners today. The Sooners capitalize. Of course, yesterday, a big part of that equation was Danny Holson. But today, they're seeing pitches. They're turning on pitches. They're making adjustments. Nice pieces of hitting by those Sooner hitters today.
Now 2 out. Bushyhead remains at first, and here's Cameron Seitzer, who is one Sooner who has not gotten things going. 0 for 5 so far in the Super Regional. Took the collar yesterday, so has dropped from 6th to 8th in the order today.
Seitzer's one of those kids that, high school player, long and lanky. But now when I see him, I don't see lanky. I see a nice frame in which to work on. Could put a couple more pounds on, be a power hitter. Hits for decent average, batting .311 on the season. He's got major league tools as well. And what they say, the fruit doesn't fall too far away from the tree.
His dad, Kevin, in the majors for a long time, and currently the hitting coach for the Royals. Family resemblance, too.
What a great year he had in '86. Came in, all-star that year as a rookie. Looks like they're going to maybe pitch him away as well. Virginia moving their defense in the outfield over to the opposite field.
Seitzer wears that protective guard in front of his face, but it is just a preventative measure.
Yeah, he doesn't have a history of being hit there. His dad, I believe, did, and that's the reason why he has that, just to, as you said, prevent anything.
From right outside of Kansas City, where his dad continues to work for the Royals.
Lenarski really needs this out. Virginia cannot let this inning go any further.
It has been a long inning. Lenarski relieving Maury after Maury walked the first 2 men, both of whom have scored. Seitzer to the second baseman, Werman, for the final out. But Oklahoma takes advantage of the 2 walks to begin the inning, and they now lead it 6-4. Welcome back to Charlottesville, where Virginia got off to a good start. They got a couple of runs in the first inning. And drove that with an RBI double. Derek Parker also had one, but then Oklahoma struck back with a vengeance. Cody Wren with a 3-run home run. They scored 4 in the first. And then in the third inning, it was tied up at 4 apiece. Oklahoma came back. Coke Zero game track. A couple of RBI doubles for Virginia, but Virginia's starter is out of the game. Robert Morey walked his first 2 batters in the third inning, then was replaced. And Oklahoma scored 2 runs on only 1 hit. And we have a new pitcher now for the Sooners as well.
Yeah, Jack Mayfield in. 16th game of the year, 4-0 record with a 2.03 ERA, strike thrower, and really brought in here. Now his team has scored. It's up to him to throw that shutdown point.
It is, and you know, when you talk to Coach Galloway, he said one thing about him. We saw he's a freshman. He's got ice waters in his veins, is what he said. He said his very first start was at the AA ballpark in Oklahoma City, and he went out there and pitched a complete game when everybody thought he was crazy for starting a freshman in such a rowdy atmosphere. He was the long reliever for this game, and they really liked the ice water in his veins that he had. I like that quote, the ice water in the veins.
Maybe we can send some of that up here.
Very hot, steamy day in Charlottesville. So Zach Neal's day is done after 3 innings. Here's John Hicks, the first baseman, who grounded out when he faced Neal. Mayfield, by the way, the only Sooner to both pitch and play in the field this season. 8 for 35 at the plate, but the pitcher as of late misses low.
One thing I would be concerned of, we know how Cooley pitched in that game, his first start there in Oklahoma City, but postseason is just a little bit different, wouldn't you say, Nick? Pressure is one thing in a regular season game, you got the rest of the season. When you're talking about postseason, you know, every pitch counts.
You're going through it for the first time. Hostile environment, 5,000 plus people. Yeah, it's all new.
Hicks gets ahead of him and then draws the leadoff walk. ESPN's AL-NL Showdown begins tonight and also Monday night. First on Sunday Night Baseball at 8 Eastern, it's the White Sox and the Cubs. And tomorrow night, catch 2 of the best hitters in the game. ESPN's Monday Night Baseball, Ichiro in Seattle take on Albert Pujols and the St. Louis Cardinals. Both games part of the AL-NL Showdown presented by State Farm, available on ESPN3.com tonight. And also Monday. Hey, there's an old school Pirates hat in the crowd.
Looks like the old Kent Tekulve version of that.
We are family.
In the good old days when Pittsburgh actually won baseball games. They have been in a horrible slump. Tyler Cannon, first pitch, swinging, and he is robbed by Max White.
Great play by White. There's those tone setters right there. If this gets through, runners in scoring position. In fact, the tie runners in scoring position. Leaves his feet, makes a great play. The freshman from Durant, Oklahoma. What a ball player.
Loses the glasses, gets on the ground. That football background came in handy there. Former high school quarterback, not afraid to mix it up and lay out on the turf.
Big catch by White.
That's the guy they said he compared to Brett Favre, the way he looks and carries himself.
Toughness. Here's Franco Valdez, who flew out the first time. First time he's seen Mayfield, and he whiffs at the first pitch. Oklahoma needs to win this game to force a Game 3 here tomorrow. Should Virginia come back to win, they'll head off to Omaha for the 2nd straight season.
When we go back to Mayfield being a freshman and just handling the pressure, that's what surprised me so much about University of Florida. I mean, Florida's young. They got babies all on their roster, and for them to earn that spot, they've breezed through the postseason.
Valdez hits it towards Wren, who catches it just short of the warning track for the 2nd out of the inning. Hicks retreats to first.
Yeah, the SEC with 2 teams now already punched their tickets for Omaha. Matt Dendecker, the only notable senior for the Gators. Well, of course, Chapman, the relief pitcher, is going to got drafted as well.
Florida got in last night, beating Miami, who committed 7 errors. UCLA came from behind to force a decisive Game 3 with Fullerton.
That's going to be a good series there. I mean, you know, that one there. Woo.
Gator coach Kevin O'Sullivan played his college ball right here in Charlottesville.
And Florida State is 3 outs away from advancing to the World Series themselves, as Vanderbilt's coming up in their last ups, potentially. Runner takes off.
What a jump.
Great jump. Got it easily. Hicks is into second.
Really nothing a catcher could do. Nice low takeaway right there. Notice he did not look in. That is great for young players. When you're stealing a base, there's no reason to look in. He keeps his nice forward lean on the journey to second base. Really nothing Ogle could do. He's such a good jump. He's just playing catch up right there. A lot of times when you have to rush it like that, the ball ends up in center field.
Hicks now 9 for 10 on the season in stolen bases. In scoring position, bobbled momentarily by Black, but he still throws out Barr for the last out of the inning. Oklahoma, a game they have to win, up by 2 runs. Oklahoma leading Virginia 6-4. Let's check out our Home Depot coaching clinic.
The key to getting a good jump off a right-handed pitcher is looking at the left shoulder. Just like a track runner, we need a starter pistol when to tell us to go. If we look at this left shoulder and it turns in, that's when we go. If it goes back, we go back to first. There's 3 starter pistols, the right foot, the left foot, but the first one that goes is the left shoulder. That's the key to getting a good jump off a right-handed pitcher. See it right here, the jump. As soon as he saw that left shoulder go, off he went. Hicks with a great jump right there, and you got to just burn your eyes, laser it on that left shoulder, and that'll tell you when to go.
Nick Belmonte, who was the all-time single-season stolen base record holder for a while when you were burning it up down in Florida. What did you? 42 steals and 48 steals in 24 games.
No,
right?
48 games back
48
then.
games, 24 steals.
And you know, we weren't playing as many games back in those days, but it was a lot of fun.
Eric Ross, the DH, sends one out.
But, you know, I wasn't a guy that was like a 6'3" runner or anything. And a lot of that is what I talked about in the coach's clinic. You have to know your keys. You can't waste motion when you take a jump to second base. And when you burn your hole in that left shoulder, it really will tell you when to go.
Now, that's funny. Now, the pitcher and me, you know, we're taught to kind of move that left shoulder around a little bit.
Yeah, it's a balk.
Ross bunts it a little bit too hard. Hicks picks it up for the unassisted play. Jay Walker played a couple of years in the minor leagues as a pitcher. Were you quick to the plate? Could guys steal off of you, Jay?
I was a high leg kick guy.
Okay.
You know, so that was kind of my thing, was I had to make sure that the guys didn't get a good jump and keep them as close to first base as possible.
Those high leg kick guys are like taking candy from a baby. I just want to tell you that.
Ellison, first pitch swinging. College World Series begins Saturday, June 19th at 2 Eastern Time, live on ESPN HD. For more information, go to ncaa.com, the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. One of these 2 teams will be there. Oklahoma with 2 championships, but have not been to the World Series since 1995. Virginia trying to get back for their 2nd straight season, and 2nd time in their history.
You saw Brian O'Connor in the dugout. We got the Omaha, 1,190 miles. Well, it's
they
actually,
rounded up.
Yeah, it's actually 4 less. I don't get the color scheme, though.
Or the legs.
That's what I meant, is the UCLA colors there.
Chris Ellison, the leadoff man, singled and scored back in the 1st and then struck out in the 2nd. This is his first look at Winarski, who replaced Morey. Morey just going 2 innings plus 2 batters as the starter. And this Virginia team, Coach O'Connor told us he really is only using 6 pitchers, and we've already seen 4 of them in these first 2 games. And Winarski coming in very early today.
You've got to be concerned because this Virginia team has made their living all season long on pitching. I mean, they plan on beating you by pitching, and when your number 2 pitcher got roped as he did today, hopefully the bats can carry him through. And traditionally, this hasn't been a team that has relied on their bats. They haven't relied on the offense. They relied on great defense and great pitching. It seems like in this game here, this is going to be one of those old-fashioned shootouts where You got to swing the bat in order to get the W.
Best team ERA in the ACC, typically in the top 3 in the country since Brian O'Connor took over 7 years ago. That one's hit to Werman. Pretty easy out.
You put your head in the mind of Brian O'Connor right now. How do you structure the rest of this ball game from your pitching standpoint? I think if Winarski can get you 2 more innings, this one and maybe 1 more, then you go to Tyler Wilson. He's been that bridge to the closer. That'll give your offense an opportunity to come back and squeak away at some runs here. Remember, it's only a 2-run game right now.
And the good thing for both teams yesterday is that both of them only had to use the 2 pitchers.
Yeah, that's all part of that Holson effect and how it's going to trickle down the next 2 days, what he was able to do. 130 pitches, and he was taking them deep into the ball game, saving the bullpen till the 9th.
White just fouled down the left field line, and Virginia did not use Wilson yesterday, which was huge.
I think that counts a lot. And if Winarski is able to keep you close, keep it 2 runs, you think about bringing in Tyler Wilson. I think if the league stretches to 3 runs, 4 runs, then I think you say Wilson and you just kind of pass this game on and get ready for tomorrow.
White with a solid 2-out single.
That kid's pretty good. I don't know if we mentioned that at all, but I see why the coaches light up. I mean, he's got just a nice, solid stroke, athletic, can move, can play defense. I mean, this is a good piece of hitting right here. Just turn on it.
Yeah, the old Brett Favre clone. Look at him go right here. Look at that. He pulls his hands in. That's how he squared that pitch up. Came inside and actually moved his hands in just to get the barrel on it. He'll be casting for the Something About Mary 2 coming up to the theater near you.
White, the true freshman, will be a high draft pick, according to his head coach, Sonny Galloway, who really likes him. Here's Garrett Buechele. Scored both times today, even though he still does not have a hit in the Super Regional. Got hit by a pitch in the first inning, and then scored on Wren's 3-run homer, and was one of the walks in the 3rd inning that saw Morey, the starter, exit. White 7 for 9 in steals, bluffs but does not go. And then Valdez bluffed the throw to first.
Don't be surprised if you see a 1-2 steal attempt if the count goes that way, because it'll be a breaking ball count. Looking for something that would be an easy pitch to go on, maybe a ball in the dirt. Winarski gets the ball at home plate quick. Mainly a base runner has about 3.35 seconds to get himself down there to second base. That's not a lot of time. By the time he starts his windup, it's about 1.35 seconds on a fastball. The catcher, roughly 2 seconds. So you can't have wasted motion. He's burning his eyes right on that left shoulder. Once that thing turns in, off he would go. And if it doesn't, that's your reaction right there. You go back. A lot of base runners will look at the right foot or the left foot, but the first thing that goes out of that 3 sequence will be the left shoulder. And that's just a good enough lead.
He gave him a little wiggle there. Did you see that? That was close. I was, focused on that left shoulder. He slid a little wiggle in there, and if you weren't looking for it, you wouldn't know about it.
And that would be, by the rules of baseball, a ball. But some pitchers are so good at doing it, being discreet, they don't call it.
Make it one motion.
And another part what the pitchers do is they'll hold the ball a long time like that. And the reason why they do that, it'll cause the base stealer's heels to hit the ground, and then he'll have to waste 1/10 of a second to pick his heels up before he starts his crossover step. So that's why you see pitchers all the time hold the ball.
Oh, they got him picked off and they threw it away.
Throw it into right field. White going to go all the way to third when a good throw would have had him dead to rights.
He was stuck in no man's land, and Valdez came up firing. You see there with the swing, he's stuck. First baseman, not necessarily ready for the throw, but no way he's going to get to that anyway.
Just threw it in the ground, gets by Hicks. And now you have a tack-on run sitting there at third with 2 outs. And Buechele's the guy you want up in this situation. So this is either going to be a tack-on run, big Oklahoma Sooner momentum builder, or the crowd's going to go crazy if they get him out.
The second error in as many games in the Super Regional for the catcher Valdez.
Normally when you get a player with Buechele's talent, sooner or later, he's going to find a way to hurt you. He's not had a good Super Regional. This is the moment where stars are made.
But instead, he goes down swinging. A huge out for Winarski after the throwing error from the catcher Valdez. When we return, we will hear from Oklahoma head coach Sonny Galloway, his team up 2. We are back. Max White and Oklahoma leading Virginia 6-4. Here is Oklahoma head coach Sonny Galloway.
Sonny, question for you. You got the 2-run lead and great first inning comeback from the 2-run deficit. Now that you have the lead, you say, for instance, you hold it going in the next inning. Do you go manufacture some things for tack-ons, or are you going to play for the big inning?
Well, no, we'll try to manufacture. That's how we play. We like to put it on the carpet, put pressure with the running game, and just keep putting pressure on the defense. That's how we played all year.
Coach, you started off with Neal. Now you got Mayfield in the game, and you actually pulled Neal when you just got the lead. Are you going to empty out all your pitchers in the bullpen today?
Hey, there's no tomorrows. You got to win today, so you might as well use everybody. We like Mayfield. He's got ice water in his veins. He's been good for us. We've got some quality arms that we can go to if we feel a guy's not quite right.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, guys.
And there is the young man. You mentioned it, Jay, ice water in his veins, and the coach used that term again about the young man.
We're going to see. You know, he's going to earn his legend, ice water in his veins today. It's hot, it's humid, it's muggy. Ice does melt, turn to water. Let's just hope it doesn't happen today if you're a fan of the Boomer Sooners.
Mayfield, the true freshman out of Del Rio, Texas. Made the second team All Big 12 as a utility player because he also hit during the season. Phil Gosselin, the always dangerous leadoff man, has singled and scored in both of his at-bats today.
And Sonny Galloway knows this. It all starts with getting this guy out at the top of the order. You never want to see this guy leading off an inning.
Led off the game yesterday with a home run. This one's hit right to the shortstop, Bushyhead. Gets him for the first time today.
Huge out right there. Keeps the crowd out of it. Middle of the order coming up. That's exactly what Sonny Galloway wanted.
Well, the freshman wins that battle. Keith Werman, the second baseman, coming up, had a sac bunt and also hit by a pitch in the game. Though we are in Charlottesville, Oklahoma is the home team today in this game too. Virginia would be the home team tomorrow should there be a decisive game 3.
They respect Werman's bunting ability. Buechele starting out even with the bag at third and creeping in.
Werman's one of those guys, if he's got such good bat control that he can easily just pull this ball down the line and it becomes a foot race between he and the pitcher. So one of the things you got to do if you're a pitcher and you got a guy squares up to bunt, you've got to get off that mound in a hurry.
Well, yesterday in this situation, right before the home run by Grovat, he took a ball outer third away and went with it, inside outed it down the left field line.
Fisted towards the shortstop, Bushyhead, who has to charge, and he's not going to get him. Double clutch, thought about it, threw it anyway, and Werman, who's fast, beat it out.
That's what you call a tough out. That's how we've described him. He's just a very tough out. When the ball gets on the inside, if you don't feel this clean, you've got no chance, and right there it's done already. I mean, it was done right there.
Yeah, it was kind of no man's land. He gets such a great jump from the left side as well. As a shortstop, your only chance on that is to round it off, and the fact that he got jammed slowed the ball getting out to the shortstop position, really Bushyhead did all he could do.
Infield single for Werman.
And I know you like his swing. You know, you talk about not having any wasted motion. I mean, the moment he made contact with that ball, a straight line down the first base line.
They're going to keep an eye on him over at first. Grovat now up. He has an RBI double and also another RBI and a sacrifice fly today. He's had a terrific Super Regional. Hit that 2-run homer yesterday that won it for the Cavaliers.
And by Werman getting on base, he just becomes a distraction, and you worry about him, and all of a sudden you've got Dan Grovat, who's just been ripping the ball as of late.
But as a pitcher in this situation, you've got to worry about the guy that can tie this thing up at Grovat. That runner down there, if they send them fine, they're still down 2 runs at this point. That is not the potential tie run. Reason why you don't send them the first 2 pitches, you keep that hole open on the right side.
That was a count right there. Had a good pitch to hit as well, but one thing about Mayfield, his go-to pitch is that changeup. That's his pitch. That's his strikeout pitch. That's his go-to pitch, and he's not afraid to throw it no matter what the count.
Good pitch, fastball. Cuts
I thought it was
across
a little
the plate.
outside. Let's take a look. I thought it was a little outside.
You got to remember too, where the camera angle in center field is, it's using a little bit. I think it cut across the plate diagonally, but maybe not a good pitch to swing at. But he's got to be protected here.
Sends that one out of play. A little bit of rain falling in the area from what we've been told near here, Davenport Field. But the sun is still shining on the field. Two-two to Grovat. Sends it back into the screen. The NBA Finals continue on ABC tonight. Paul Pierce and the Celtics host Kobe and the Lakers in Game 5. Tied up 2-piece. NBA Finals on ABC tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Coverage starts with GNC Sierra NBA Countdown at 7:30 Eastern Time.
That's going to be a good one. The Lakers, I mean, basically hate to say you, but a team that's got a talent like Kobe Bryant, it seems like it comes down to the health of Andrew Bynum.
Catch that tonight on ABC. Grovat hits that one towards the gap, and it falls in front of Ellison. Werman had to hold up, so he only gets into second.
Looked like Ellison had trouble tracking that ball. You gotta remember, this is the part of the day where the hitters are in the shade, so you might not see it off the bat as good as you did earlier in this ball game. They got a late break on it. So Werman's going to see it, and it looks like to him it's going to be caught. So he didn't really have a chance to break towards third.
The ball hung in the air for a little while. Seems like Ellison was getting ready to give up on the play and trying to make the catch. He lost his footing, but then he realized the ball's still in the air. I have a chance to go get it. Put Ellison as well as the base runner Werman in no man's land on a wait and see what happens mode.
Back-to-back singles with one away. Stephen Procia to the plate for the 3rd time today. First time that he has faced Mayfield, the reliever. And that's a strike.
A little over anxious on that swing. Slider away. Just couldn't hold up.
Well, I'm thinking with a pitcher like Mayfield in there, you got to start sitting change. I mean, he's tried to get it in there. Rarely uses that fastball. He tries to sneak it past you after he sets you up with the off-speed stuff.
Roche is still looking for his first hit of this Super Regional. Did have an RBI sac fly last time up, but now he's behind 0-2.
Slider to start the sequence. Let's see if he continues to live out there, or maybe they go up the ladder. Now remember, he doesn't possess that 95-mile-an-hour fastball, kind of a finesse guy. If you get it up the ladder, you really got to get it up there.
By up there, you mean well
over
above
the hands, over the hands,
above the belt line by about 8 inches.
Wind is blowing from right to left and out a little bit, so if he could get it up, he would have a little bit of assistance from Mother Nature. There you see the flags whipping around.
Third slider in a row, outer third away. Nice discipline right there, laying off that pitch with 2 strikes. Double play would be huge right here if you can get him to roll one over. Let's see about that ice water in the veins. It's going to show up right here, one way or the other.
Another big strikeout for the freshman. Rocha goes down swinging.
Just couldn't stay off it. It's like he almost knew it was coming and was worried about being called out, looking at that third strike.
Ice baby.
Too cold.
Wow.
Too cold.
So now it's up to Jarrett Parker, one of the stars of this Virginia team. Had an RBI double back in the first inning. This is his first time facing the freshman Mayfield.
If you're the Cavaliers, this is the guy you want up here.
Thinking the same thing.
Second round draft pick, captain of the team. 16 home runs last year, 10 this year. The cerebral guy on the ball club.
He's a lefty, going up against a righty. A right-handed pitcher likes to throw a lot of sliders.
Overflow crowd here at Davenport Field got silent before that pitch was delivered to Parker. They know how big this at bat is.
It's huge from a momentum standpoint. Even scratching 1 run, bringing it within 1 run close, the crowd would go crazy.
And they do have speed at second with Werman. Parker certainly can drive the ball. But he gets it up in the air. Buechele retreats, but the shortstop, Bushyhead, steps in front of him for a huge third out. Parker can't get the job done. When we come back, we'll hear from his head coach. Heading to the bottom of the fifth seed Virginia trailing Oklahoma 6-4. Here is their head coach Brian O'Connor with Jay Walker.
Coach, starting pitcher Robert Moore, it didn't seem like he had his stuff today. Right when your team got back into it, even things up, he gave up the 2 walks right away. What happened with him today?
Well, he just didn't have his command, Jay. You know, he's pitched great for us all year long. He's got 9 wins, and he just didn't have his command from the start of the game. And when you're playing a good Oklahoma club, if you don't have that, it's going to be a tough day for you.
Ryan, let's talk about your ties with growing up in Omaha, Rosenblatt Stadium. Your dad took you there since you were a little kid. You actually worked for ESPN pulling cables for the college. What's that mean to you?
Well, it's obviously a special place for me, Nick. Growing up in the area, going to so many ball games when I was young, it's just a special place, and we're fighting like heck to try to get back there.
All right, Coach O'Connor, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Coach O'Connor played at Creighton, in Omaha, his hometown. Got this team, Virginia, there for the first time in its baseball history. And the last year Rosenblatt Stadium, and you got to believe that if Virginia could do it, I mean, that would be like you could make a movie out of that if he goes home and wins a championship in his hometown in the last season at Rosenblatt, where he went every World Series. His dad started taking him when he was 3 years old. Tyler Ogle in Oklahoma trying to have something to say about that as they lead at 6-4 in a game Oklahoma has to win to keep Virginia from going to Omaha.
Brian O'Connor, one of the best coaches in college baseball today, and that prerequisite pulling cable for ESPN. I like that.
He's one of the ones when we ask him about Omaha, everybody, it's going to be very nostalgic. Rosenblatt shutting down. But I'm sure the new digs are going to be sweet now. He said the new stadium, he goes home every summer. He said he had a chance to drive by there, and he said it's going to be nice, and I would expect nothing less.
Ogle singles to lead off the inning. And here's Coach O'Connor talking more about his Omaha ties.
Council Bluffs, Omaha area is where I grew up, and also played college baseball at Creighton. It's very, very exciting to step on this field at Rosenblatt as the head coach at the University of Virginia. I mean, this is home, for my wife and I. So, bringing a team back to the College World Series is something that's really, really special to me.
They celebrated last year, winning down in Oxford, Mississippi. In that Super Regional, they lost the first game, had to win the next two, and they did it. And now they're in a reverse pattern right now, winning the first game. So in the driver's seat, but trailing in this one.
It's funny you bring that up, Pam, because after the game yesterday, one of the things you would think Brian would tell us, hey, look, we're in the same position last year. We beat the home team after they won the first game. But he said he didn't talk to his players about it. Players also said he didn't even mention it. Especially the ones that were here last year, I think they know the score of how it all turned out in Oxford.
Cody Wren hit a 3-run homer, his first at bat against the departed starter Robert Morey, who Coach O'Connor said simply didn't have command today, and that's why he only lasted 2 innings plus 2 batters.
I think the command, it seemed like the elements kind of affected him. I know this is their home park, but I mean, this weather's coming in, and I live in this region. I mean, it's extremely muggy out here, and we saw them trying to get rosin and get towels and everything they could. And, if you're a power pitcher relying on that fastball and you can't grip the ball, or you don't, sometimes it's not even a matter of gripping. Psychologically, you don't feel like you've got a good grasp on the baseball. You start to overthink and overthrow, and Morey was just all over the place in terms of the strike zone today.
Wren sends Parker back to the wall, but he runs out of room. A huge home run, Wren's second of the day. This time a 2-run shot.
The man Sonny Galloway calls a pure hitter is having a day to remember the rest of his life today.
3-run home run in the first, and now a 2-run blast.
Down in that zone, left-handed hitters love it. Down and in. Threw him down there a couple of times last time. This time he gets it. Parker knows it.
I mean, had he hit that to dead center, that one might have cleared that big blue monster out there. I mean, he caught all of that.
Tagged it off of Winarski.
Power to go up, to go golf that ball up over that fence. He must have hit that thing about 420, Nick.
He hit it a foot, right?
And Wren only came into this game with 6 homers on the year. Oh, what a play by the shortstop, Cannon, going up and bringing it in. Bushy had retired on a sparkling play by his counterpart.
Nice piece of hitting, and they're right on all these pitches by Winarski, and Cannon really helps it right there, coming up, timing that jump perfectly, and that's the key to that play. Look at Cody. He said, oh, man, I needed my teammate to get a hit as well.
That close for making it 3 hits in a row to start this inning for Oklahoma.
I didn't know why he got all those sliders away yesterday.
Danny Black stepping in now with nobody on base, and 1 away. Oklahoma needing to win this game to extend it to a third game tomorrow, and there's activity in Virginia's bullpen. Righty Justin Thompson has gotten up and is throwing. And Cannon can't get to it that time. They continue to hit Wisnarski hard in this 5th inning.
And they're going to have to get Thompson and Ernest out there, because right now it looks like Winarski is running out of gas.
Our last 2 balls have been well hit, meaning they're up in the strike zone a little bit. Actually 3 balls, consecutive balls, a home run, then the last ball that fortunately Cannon was able to grab out the air, and this one here gets through. So I think you're at that point, if you're Coach O'Connor, you're saying, okay, 4 may be about my limit in terms of runs, the lead I'm willing to allow them to have before I start to think I either got to go for the win, bring in a shutdown guy, or play it out.
Taking off is Black. He gets in as the ball gets away.
And you can see right now, Sonny Galloway going for the jugular. 4-run lead, runners on base. Why not? Great jump, low takeaway. Had the rush to throw because of the low jump. But every time you see a great jump like that, they're running on the pitcher, not the catcher. And Valdez tried to rush the throw. Luckily, that did not go to center field.
Virginia, a good offensive team, averaging over 8 runs per game on the season. And Galloway just continuing to put the pressure on. Seitzer, who is 0 for 6 in the Super Regional, comes up in an RBI situation.
And if we were playing football, I would say they've taken the air out of the ball. I mean, right now it's just dead, it's flat. The body English right now doesn't even look good for the Cavaliers. On that last throw to second base, Valdez just had this look on his face, and they need to get it together, because you don't want to get beat so bad the momentum carries over into the next day.
And they still have 4 innings.
Yes.
Which is a long time for a team this talented. But boy, the crowd here is deflated as well. Hot, sticky day. People came in and were lined up a couple hours before the game even started, standing in the sun to get seats.
And that's what you want. You want the opposition's crowd to look like a Thomas Kincaid painting.
Still life? Is that what Kincaid painted? That went right over my head, buddy. Seitzer still can't get a hit, but he does get the sac fly. Black goes over to third.
Productive out, where he can score on a multitude of things. From third base.
I mean, another well-hit ball, though, just happened to be hit right at him. You're talking about Seitzer, who struggled to get any type of offense. I mean, now, his hit, his out was a well-hit out. So.
And that's the best ball he's hit in the last 2 days.
Now it's up to Eric Ross, the DH, who has walked and grounded out. The number 9 man in the order today for Coach Galloway, who made several changes in the lineup from yesterday. His team lost 3-2 yesterday.
That was not a attempt at a squeeze play at all, because you don't squeeze with 2 outs, because the pitcher, all he has to do is pick it up, throw to first. That was a possible bunt attempt for a base hit with 2 outs and a runner at third.
Okay. Welcome back to Charlottesville. We had a power hit here, so we were unable to transmit the game for you. What you missed was Eric Ross popping out to end the inning for Oklahoma in the bottom of the 5th, an inning in which Cody Wren hit another home run, a 2-run shot to give them an 8-4 lead over Virginia. John Hicks, the first baseman for the Cavaliers, leading off the 6th with a single, and now Tyler Cannon at bat with a 1-2 count. Throw down to first. Seitzer had to go up high for it. Hicks was able to get back in, but a strikeout of Cannon.
Sometimes you get a little too aggressive here to catcher in that situation because you want to keep the double play in order, and the risk-reward factor on that one was not there for Ogle to try to throw the ball to first, which he almost threw it down to the bullpen.
And that was a good job by Mayfield of getting that strikeout. You know, the crowd tried to get back into it. Hicks led off the inning by getting the base hit. Everybody was up and rowdy. Now all of a sudden, you get that big strikeout that you need to calm down the fans here and just take the momentum away from them as they're trying to build it up.
Crowd has indeed gotten quiet again. Franco Valdez, the catcher, now up for Virginia. Virginia won yesterday 3-2. Oklahoma needs to win today to force a decisive game 3 tomorrow, and they are up 8-4, both teams with 8 hits. But Cody Wren has 5 RBIs on 2 home runs for the Sooners.
Cody Wren was part of that equation of guys we talked about that had to show up for the Sooners to have a chance at winning, and he showed up big time, going yard twice.
Wren had a 3-run shot in the first inning off starter Robert Morey, who only lasted 2 innings plus 2 batters, and then his 2-run shot in the last inning off the reliever Cody Winarski. Franco Valdez, this catcher, he's the guy that usually gets them fired up before they come out on the field, and they could use some firing up right about now.
This is what Valdez does. He'll yell to the team, play one, and they'll all yell one game. And then he'll go all 9, and they'll yell all 27 outs. They have a routine. They've been doing this since last season. We saw them do it in Oxford last year in the Super Regionals. They were doing it in the College World Series in Omaha.
Valdez, the senior from Miami, takes a strike.
Played his high school ball at Pace High School in Miami for Coach Tom Duffin, guy who played in the minor leagues for me.
And he's sitting on a 3-1 pitch from the freshman Mayfield. Draws the walk, so 2 on and 1 out for the Cavs.
What I like about that at bat right there, the situation of the game and how the senior leader didn't try to do too much. He knew he couldn't hit a grand slam in that situation to tie it. He was patient, got the walk, and that's setting up a big inning right here.
All about getting men on base. Here's John Barr, who singled and scored back in the 3rd inning.
This becomes a big out right here. If you can get the double play ball, you really want to do it, because Barr's a number 9 hitter coming up after John Barr. Only the single season hits leaders for UVA. Phil Gosselin sitting in the on-deck circle. So the freshman's got to know your situation. Go right at Barr. Try and dial up a double play. At the very least, make sure you get him out.
Swinging at the first pitch, and he hits it right to Wren in right field. The runners stay put. And here comes Gosselin up now with 2 away.
But Gosselin now comes up not as a potential tie run, so that's how big that out was to Barr. Mayfield is showing us the ice water in his veins that Sonny Galloway has been talking about. He's been dodging some bullets here.
Gosselin grounded out the first time he faced Mayfield in the last inning.
I talked to Gosselin the other day about his approach and said, you watch a lot of video. Why are you such a good hitter? And he says, you know, I don't watch much video. It's more about getting a feel for what the pitcher's trying to do to me and then reacting and adjusting to it. Ken McMullen, your hitting coach, does a great job with all these hitters at the Virginia program. Sonny Galway's going to make sure he's on the right page with his pitcher here.
Big situation with Goslin up. Goslin, the all-time single-season hits leader, again, did that yesterday and did it in grand style as he had hit a leadoff home run in the 3-2 win.
It's Jeremy Urban. We saw him throw yesterday. He's the setup guy.
J.R. Robinson, a left-hander, also warming down in the Oklahoma pen, but that's Urban, one of two pitchers, the only reliever who pitched yesterday.
Yeah, and they had Robinson up as well. And with Robinson up, they're looking for a left-on-left matchup down the road with maybe Jared Parker somewhere along those lines.
Right now, a pressure situation for Goslin. A young man who will always be remembered here at Virginia for hitting a home run off of Steven Strasburg in the regional last year, in what proved to be Strasburg's last collegiate game for San Diego State. Strasburg pitched well again today for the Nationals.
I asked Goslin, I said, what'd you think of Strasburg's debut the other night? Did you watch it? He says, yeah. I said, what'd you think? He goes, he was dirty. He was nasty. Oh, yeah.
I guess the question would be, do you think you could hit that home run again off of Steven Strasburg if the situation called on?
I think I know the answer, and it's yes.
1-0 on the way to Goslin with 2 on. Mayfield misses the plate.
Kevin McMullen, the hitting coach, prepared him for Strasburg by putting a chair 30 feet in front of him and throwing the ball as hard as he can. And he said to the hitters, I don't want you to swing. I just want you to track the ball in the glove to get a feel for what it's going to look like when it comes your way.
Goslin gets all of it and more. Over the fence, into the trees to make it a one-run game.
Well, he's done it again. He takes a Jack Mayfield pitch and turns it into a Curtis Mayfield pitch and hits a super fly. Hangs it. See ya.
I mean, he muscled that. You know, when you hit a home run off of a power pitcher, you just want to get bat speed. There, he had the ability to put that muscle and those shoulders into it.
You know you hit it when you're knuckling the first base coach going around first. Huh.
Goslin's third hit of the day, his second home run of the Super Regional, and that was a blast. A 3-run shot, and all of a sudden it's 8-7.
And oil painting no more.
No.
The crowd is back in.
Yes, the crowd has been awakened. Keith Werman, the second baseman, up again as Goslin talks about his dinger in the dugout. Junior out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. One of 3 Cavaliers with 90 hit seasons. The other, his teammate Jarrett Parker, and the other, Ryan Zimmerman, who did it twice. Now with the Nationals, who won today 9-4 in Cleveland behind Steven Strasburg, who's 2-0 in the Bigs.
Strasburg got the W today?
Yeah.
So that means the Nats won. They beat
9-4, they beat the Indians.
Like we said in the open, John and Kate Goslin have 8 dependents. So does Phil Goslin with the 8 guys that follow him in the lineup.
Good guy to get behind. Werman hits it to Black for the final out. But the Goose does it again. Phil Goslin coming up with 2 men on, and he clears them with a vengeance. Welcome back to the NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Slugfest going on in Charlottesville. Virginia down 8-4 going into the 6th, but Phil Gosselin with a big 3-run home run to make it a 1-run ball game as we head to the bottom of the 6th, and we see our 3rd Virginia pitcher of the day.
This is Justin Thompson making his 13th appearance. Only 20 innings on the season, but they're hitting 192 against him. Upper 80s, good breaking ball. Has not seen a lot of action. His last game was May 27th, and that was against Florida State in the ACC tournament in Greensboro, North Carolina. So maybe coming in to pitch to a couple hitters, maybe an inning here. See what happens with the offense.
When we talked to Brian O'Connor the other day, he said that he basically wanted to use 6 pitchers, and Justin Thompson is not one of them, or was not one of them, but they have been hit hard, and Winarski was obviously out of gas the last time he was out there. Kind of remarkable that he was able to finish the 5th inning. So here comes Thompson, his turn, the sophomore from Danville, Virginia.
I think in the chess match between trying to find the righty versus lefty matchup, you've got Ellison the lefty, then after that you've got 3 consecutive right-handed hitters coming up for Oklahoma. So I think, Nick, you're exactly right. Probably look to get an inning or so out of Thompson, then go with the lefty to face the bottom half of this left-handed, heavy-hitting Sooner lineup.
And this is the top of the order that he's facing. Ellison, the leadoff man.
We talk about shutdown innings. This is a huge shutdown inning for Virginia right now to throw a 0 up there.
Able to string nicely on that one.
Great changeup right there.
I was going to say, that was fantastic. 86-mile-an-hour fastball, and if you're not going to throw that hard, when you throw your change, you've got to have good location and a dramatic drop in velocity. 13 miles an hour drop, that's getting it done.
Ellison chopping it.
Hurry.
Yeah, Proscia doesn't have a play, would have had to field it cleanly to even have a chance.
You know, that was a case of the pitch being too good. Came back with El Cambio, the change, and he got it off the end of the bat, which caused a lot of rotation on that ball. It makes it very difficult for a ball like that to stay in a fielder's glove. Pitch was just too good.
And it is an infield single. Proscia got a glove on it, but was unable to come up with it. But Speedy Ellison was already well down the baseline. Here comes Max White.
Well, we know one thing. Sonny Galloway is not going to sit on a 1-run lead.
He wasn't sitting on a 4-run lead.
Right.
Why do it with a 1-run lead? Loves to put his runners in motion. Ellison runs well. And White is a terrific young talent at the plate.
See, what you see in college baseball right there, different than the major leagues. A college player a lot of times will cut out the middleman, go right into the dugout, look at Sonny Galloway, the head coach, get his sign, and then step in. It's a great shot of that.
Runner takes off, White swings and misses, and a stolen base for Ellison.
That was a straight steal, and watch White give himself up on this play. Great job right here. This pitch is out of the strike zone, and he just did it to make sure to keep the catcher back. Very unselfish.
Oklahoma now 4 for 4 in stolen bases in this Super Regional. 2 for 2 today. And it puts Ellison in scoring position with nobody out. White sends that one into the gap in left center, and that finds the trees. Max White countering the home run in the top of this inning by Gosselin with a 2-run shot of his own.
How important is getting those shutdown innings?
Thompson coming in, and they haven't used him in a while, guys. Gives up the single and then the 2-run home run.
Look how short and compact that swing is. He could have made that swing in a phone booth right there.
I mean, didn't even have the ability to completely step into that pitch, but that's just that upper body strength there.
What a future that kid has.
All smiles, and you can't blame him. It's 10-7 Oklahoma. Garrett Buechele swinging through the first pitch he sees from Thompson. White, the true freshman from Durant, Oklahoma. And he is the third baseman of the future for Oklahoma. He's playing left field now, but Coach Galloway says that if Garrett Buechele, Steve's kid, goes ahead and signs with the Rangers who drafted him, that next year we'll see White at third. There's Garrett, the redshirt sophomore who was taken in the 18th round by the Rangers. Garrett still looking for his first hit of the Super Regional, but at least he's gotten on base twice and scored twice today.
And that's the amazing thing right there. This is a club that's picking up their 3-hole hitter. And as you said, he's been on base twice, hit by pitch and a walk. But if you said he didn't get any hits in a 10-run game in the sixth inning, it'd be hard to believe.
Buechele coming into this game leading, or into the series leading his team in every major category: average, home runs, RBIs, runs, and he's got the runs part down. A couple of runs today, but he has not gotten a hit in this Super Regional. And he strikes out for the second straight time. This time Thompson gets him. Coverage of the road to Omaha continues on ESPN2 tonight with more Super Regional action. Alabama tries to close out its series against Clemson. The NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One on ESPN2 tonight at 7 Eastern. And we've had some more tickets punched today to Omaha, where action begins on Saturday. Florida got in yesterday, but South Carolina sweeping Coastal Carolina, the number 4 seed, and number 11 gets his team back in the series. Florida State's going back.
You got to say it with the draw, though.
Yeah,
11.
I think I can do it.
11. Mike Martin, 11. Kevin O'Sullivan, the Gators. Ray Tanner, South Carolina, and 11. Mike Martin back in.
Florida State still looking for its first World Series victory. They get there a lot of times, but have not come away yet with the big prize. Here's the catcher, Tyler Ogle. In fact, the ACC has had one national champion in its history, and that was Wake Forest way back in 1955. 55 years ago, fellas.
And I know what you're thinking, but you're wrong. Miami was not a member of the ACC when they won
that doesn't count.
Championships.
Yeah, they don't grandfather that in.
That's right.
They were not members of the ACC, so their titles don't count. Strikeout number 2 in a row. Ogle goes down looking, so a good recovery here by Thompson after he gave up the dinger.
Good pitch right here. Just get it to the outside. If he wants to look at it, umpire will call him out. Too close a pitch for you to take when you got 2 strikes on you. We're talking about teams that have punched their ticket to Omaha. You've been taking a look at the score in that right-hand portion of your corner there. Down in Austin, what's going on? TCU, 3 outs away from knocking off Texas, and I know a lot of people thought that Texas was the team to beat this postseason.
They got perked in the first game. Great pitcher by TCU. What an outstanding outing he had.
And here's Cody Wren, an offensive superstar today. 2 home runs. 3-run blast in the first, 2-run shot last time up in the 5th.
Here's a pitch right here. They hang a breaking ball. He's another guy quick to the ball, short stroke. Goes down and gets this one. That's just pure power right there. Galloway says that kid is a pure hitter.
Wren went 0 for 4 yesterday, but came back with a vengeance today with the 2 home runs. One of those picking up Buechele, and another nasty pitch from Thompson.
Well, that's how they got him out yesterday. Sliders away. This is a changeup away. You can see the shoulder and the head fly open. But when they came into him today, down and in, and up and in, left the park. See in the background, Carl Kuhn calling the pitches for University of Virginia. You got to think this pitch is they're not going to give in to him, even though it's 3-1. And they did not. Off speed, 3-1. That's respect right there. That's the Aretha Franklin pitch.
You call it RESPECT. Good job there on the change. I mean, really doing it You know, if he can get the strikeout right now, they lost some momentum by giving up the home run, but if he can come out and strike out 3 consecutive batters, you may be able to help get this crowd back into it, get some momentum for your team.
But he walks him on a high pitch with 2 away.
How about that? Changeup.
All changes. And
Left that one up, but out of the zone. But that's the ultimate respect. Try to back-to-back change.
You know, I'll tell you, Wren never made the adjustment for the changeup. I mean, had that pitch been down, he'd have been caught with the shoulder open again and would have been another strikeout.
Conference on the mound. Coach O'Connor coming out.
You look down there that many times, he's looking to see if the guy's ready.
Yeah, he's going to go match up here. Neil Davis.
Neil Davis, the lefty from Baltimore, coming in. Good hand for Justin Thompson. You know, he gave up the 2-run shot to Max White in this inning. So deeper into the bullpen now for the Cavaliers. We'll come back. Oklahoma up 3. Oklahoma in a must-win situation with a 3-run lead over Virginia. Cavaliers have just put in their 4th pitcher of the day in Neil Davis.
And Neil Davis really brought in right here, left on left against Bushyhead in his 21st game. Not a lot of innings because he's been used in that role. In fact, he hasn't pitched since May 27th, just threw a couple of hitters against Florida State in the ACC tournament. And then before that, April 28th against Georgetown, where he went 1/3 of an inning.
So not a lot of work, but they need him. They are getting, pitchers have been hit hard. 10 runs on 10 hits for the Sooners. 7 runs on 9 hits and 1 error for Virginia, which won yesterday 3-2. Boy, this is just a total turnaround from what we saw yesterday with a couple of good pitching performances from the starters. Caleb Bushyhead, the shortstop, up for the 4th time today. Takes a strike.
I think coming off of yesterday's performance, you say with Morey going for the Cavaliers today, if Virginia has 7 runs by the 6th inning, they're going to win the game. But the big bats from Oklahoma did not respect the Cavaliers pitching, started pitching, struggled, and they came out to swing the stick. And, you know, coaches know their teams.
And they've handled Buechele, too. That shows you how the rest of the club has responded.
Wren with the lead off of first. Morey, the starter, lasted only 2 innings plus 2 batters for Virginia.
Yeah, command wasn't there.
Wren on first has 5 RBIs on 2 home runs today. Davis, a big boy over there on the hill at 6'6", 210. Catonsville High School outside of Baltimore, has already gotten his degree in commerce at the University of Virginia. Drafted by the Phillies.
6'6" lefties tend to get drafted, don't they, Jeff?
You say he's from Catonsville, Maryland?
Catonsville High School, yep.
Catonsville, so I guess that'd make him a Baltimore County guy.
Baltimore County guy. Baltimore listed as his
city
hometown,
and the
right?
County.
Yeah, there is a difference. 60% of the players on Virginia are Virginians, but he is a Marylander. Their ace pitcher, Danny Holtzen from Bethesda, which is outside of Washington, D.C., Montgomery County. Bushyhead sends that one well foul.
Montgomery County, like a lot of people assume Michael Phelps, you hear Baltimore. He's not a city guy, he's a Baltimore County guy.
No?
You know that, Nick? The difference between Baltimore City, Baltimore County?
You know, I grew up as an Orioles fan in Miami because they had spring training there, but I did not know that. But when I met Chuck Thompson, that was a thrill.
What a great guy he was, the former Orioles play-by-play man. Many, many years. 2-2 pitch on the way to Bushyhead, and he swings and whips at it. Good job by the Baltimore County native, Neil Davis. But Oklahoma's up 3. take a look now at our Coke Zero game track. In a game Oklahoma leads 10-7, Cody Wren has been the man. 2 big blasts, 2 home runs that add up to 5 RBIs. Phil Gosselin stays hot, the leadoff man for UVA. Max White, the true freshman, with a 2-run homer. In the bottom of the 6th, that extended the lead back to 10-7. Again, Oklahoma has to win this game to force a decisive Game 3 tomorrow. UVA wins, they're going to Omaha.
And you notice the way Oklahoma has fought off every time UVA has tried to mount a rally. UVA jumped out early, 2 runs. Oklahoma came back with 4. Whenever the Cavaliers got themselves back in this game, Oklahoma got right back on them to extend their leads.
And here's the heart of the order. Jack Mayfield, the freshman pitcher, continues there and bounces one.
Yeah, and that's Sonny Galloway really showing a lot of confidence in Mayfield. 3-run lead. Out there, gave up the big blast last inning to Gosselin, but still back out there.
And it's not as if he's doing it because he doesn't have a bullpen. I mean, he's got a very good bullpen, but he just has a belief in Mayfield and likes what he brings to the table.
Well, he's got Jeremy Urban ready in the bullpen now. He was throwing last inning. J.R. Robinson was down there throwing for a lefty matchup.
Zach Neal, the starter, lasting only 3 innings, and it's been the freshman ever since. Gave up that 3-run home run to Gosselin, but has kept UVA in check other than that.
You have to think if Virginia was going to make a move, this is going to be the time they're going to do it. You know, Grovat, Proscia, and Parker, number 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up. This would be the time for Virginia to try and get back in this game, or else things aren't going to look good for the Cavs.
Urban loose down in the bullpen for Oklahoma. Should Galloway need him.
You got to challenge him here. You got a 3-run lead, 7th inning. Make him hit it.
Full count. Grovat hits it, but right to the first baseman, Seitzer, who takes it by himself. That was close. Just beat him to the bag.
And hats off right there to Mayfield, because he had to challenge him, and he had to put it in a place where the pitcher has to throw it where the hitter's going to offer at it. Rolls over it, 3 unassisted ground out. Nice way to start the inning for Mayfield.
The dangerous Grovat is retired. Here's Proscia, who has a sacrifice fly RBI, but has struck out his other 2 times today.
Well, if you're Virginia right now, you're just trying to get on base, get that tie run to the plate. Don't try to do too much with it. If he hangs you one, go ahead and turn on it, but stay within yourself.
Now some questions of concern for Galloway. Mayfield's pitched well, but when he's missed, he's really missed. And you got a guy that's not an overpowering pitcher. You want him to have command of that strike zone, and he seems to be losing that command. I wonder if the heat is caught up to him.
Oh, Proscia's going to get on base. Buechele couldn't come up with it.
You know, but that's okay in the eyes of Sonny Galloway. A base hit he'll take any day over a walk in this situation.
This ball was laced, so that's got to be some concern. Missing in the strike zone, then you miss a little higher, then they lace the ball there. I'd have him on a very watchful eye right now.
That is a base hit for Proscia, his first of the Super Regional. He had been 0 for 5 with the sac fly before that scorcher that Buechele actually was kind of a tough play just to get a glove on it. So here's Jarrett Parker. RBI double back in the first, but he's been off, but he's 0 for 2 since. Junior center fielder, most likely on his way to pro ball, taken in the 2nd round by the Giants as Urban continues to warm for Oklahoma.
And that's J.R. Robinson in the background. They both are probably ready at this point because they were throwing last inning. I thought perhaps we would have seen that matchup here with Parker, and of course, they got a couple more lefties coming up.
Parker hits it a long way, but well foul.
Designer strike.
I mean, we talk how the college game's a little different than the pro game. You know, in college, strategies can change pitch to pitch. Guy gets a good rope on you like that, best player on the other team. Do you possibly think about making the change now in your strategy, or do you continue to allow Mayfield to go after Jared Parker?
Well, if you got a great changeup, this is the pitch, the time to throw it, because he just turned on an inside pitch going the other way. I say go ahead and have him finish the at-bat here.
And that's a solid single, roped into center. Proscia stops at second. Back-to-back singles for the Cavs, and the fans are getting back into the game.
Came inside, but this pitch had way too much over the heart of the plate. It was not supposed to be right there. It was supposed to either be back in or back way out.
I want to welcome everybody to Charlottesville, Virginia. Oklahoma leading Virginia 10-7. UVA won game one in the Super Regional yesterday, 3-2. Pam Moore joined by Jay Walker, former minor league pitcher, and former minor league manager Nick Belmonte. Virginia trying to get back to the College World Series for the second straight year. And Oklahoma is making a pitching change with 2 on and 1 out. They are about to go to their third pitcher. Their starter, Zach Neal, lasted 3 innings, but Robert Morey, the starter for Virginia, lasted only 2 innings plus 2 batters. And this is Jeremy Urban, who we saw yesterday for a spell in game one.
Urban was in the game yesterday, as you said, Pam. 1 2/3 innings, 2 hits, did not allow a run, a walk, a strikeout. He faced 6 hitters, and he's the bridge to their closer, Duke. So his job right here is to shut down Virginia as they're starting to make a little bit of noise. You can see 31 games, so he's been used a lot. His 31st appearance here, 7-1 record, and he's a guy that he's used to this situation.
You mentioned that he pitched yesterday, and you know, he kind of kept the Cavaliers off balance. He came in there yesterday and did his job, so didn't throw many pitches yesterday, so he's got a pretty fresh arm, and he's seen this Cavaliers lineup, so let's see if they make some adjustments.
Coverage of the road to Omaha continues on ESPN2 tonight with more Super Regional action. You will either see Arizona State take on Arkansas or UCLA against Cal State Fullerton. NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One on ESPN2 tonight at 10 Eastern. Some teams already advancing. Coastal Carolina pulling, or getting upset, I should say, by South Carolina. South Carolina will play the winner of this Super Regional. And there you see the top bracket led by top seed Arizona State. On the other side, TCU, guys, they did it, beating Texas. So TCU takes on Florida State. Florida waiting for the winner of tonight's Fullerton UCLA game.
How many fans would I make if I leaned out the window and yelled to all the Oklahoma fans, down goes Texas, down goes Texas?
They would be quite happy that Texas has been eliminated. So we're seeing a lot of those national seeds go down. The 2nd and 4th seeds going down today in UCLA and Coastal.
Urban right now, fastball, slider, change guy, and he's a guy that doesn't worry about the weaknesses of the hitters. He attacks with his strengths.
And Urban inherits 2 base runners, Proscia and Jarrett Parker, with back-to-back singles with 1 away. And first baseman John Hicks stepping in.
Oh, and by the way, tie run at the plate.
Hicks, a sophomore from Sandy Hook, Virginia, has some pop. 8 homers on the season, as you see.
Oh, he's got some pop. That angular body I was talking about, he reminds me of the body of Dale Murphy. This guy can give it a ride. Last year in the ACC tournament in Durham, North Carolina, now they took the old bull that they used to have in right field at the old DAP. They put it up over a green, actually a blue monster in Durham, way on top. He hit the bull in the ACC tournament. Ball went well over 450 feet.
And that foul ball that he just hit our production truck, and everybody jumped.
Wake up, everybody in there.
Foul ball hit that truck yesterday, and this time Hicks, who hit the bull in Durham, hit the truck in Charlottesville.
When you hit the bull in Durham, you win a steak. Isn't that how it says? Hit the bull, win a steak?
At least in the old days, yeah. I don't know what you get for
hitting our truck. Yeah.
You get a bunch of scared people in the truck.
One thing about Urban, he's definitely come in here and tried to establish a fastball. So we talk about the difference in pitching backwards. He's definitely going forward.
Hicks just got a piece of that one.
You set up the fastball, then you give him the off speed. He's well ahead of it. And yowks! That hurts.
That's why he went down. College baseball using the aluminum-headed bats this season. Composites are out of the game for at least this year. Back to that old true ping when the ball is hit.
He's got to make the adjustment now, 1-2. If they go slider away, he's got to go with it that way.
Proscia on second, Parker on first for the Cavs, who are down by 3.
What a great two-strike pitch right there. And even better discipline. He can come a couple different ways. He can really come up and in on him, but he'd really have to back him off or slider away. The fact that he threw fastball there says he'll probably throw a slider here.
That one is hit to the second baseman, Black. Double play ball indeed, and they pull it off. A 4-6-3 double play. Urban comes in, and it's as good as it gets for Oklahoma with the double play to end the inning.
Great slider, great turn. Out of another jam.
Balls have been flying out of the park here at Davenport Field in Charlottesville. Virginia trailing Oklahoma 10-7 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Oklahoma again needs to win this game to force a decisive Game 3 here tomorrow, and you're looking at the number 5 overall seed in Virginia. And we have 4 of their 8 teams that are seeded nationally, and 4 of them are gone.
You know, that's what happens in postseason. You know, you get the right matchup. I mean, I think everybody fell in love with Texas, had a record-setting pitching staff this year. Well, I think the TCU proved that they got some arms as well, too.
Neil Davis strikes out Danny Black to start the 7th inning.
Talking to a lot of coaches around the country, they felt that this year there were more parity in college baseball than the last maybe decade. You can see a nice pitch right on the corner. And it's showing in this postseason. There was no walk in the park last night for Arizona State either.
Right.
And when you think about it, I think, you know, people would say the best 2 pitching staffs this season were Texas and maybe UCLA. And UCLA, you know, they're caught up in a battle as well out there out west. So parities are all across the board and makes for an exciting postseason.
Cameron Seitzer still looking for his first hit of the weekend. Cal State Fullerton and UCLA going to play later on tonight.
Seitzer hit the ball the best he has had in the last at bat.
Hit a sac fly.
And what they've been doing to him, Pam, is they've been jamming him, and that's been the key. He's been getting himself jammed, not going after laying off those inside pitches off the plate.
And why do you think they try to jam him?
That one's hit right to the second baseman, Werman. for the second out of the inning.
Because he has those nice long
Long
arms.
arms.
Oh, baby.
You know, the same things that make you laugh, they'll make you cry. You know, you got a nice frame. It's a pro frame. We like the build. But as a pitcher, I say, wow, he's got those long arms. It'd be real tough for him to get a hold of something if I can get it in there quick on him and jam him up. So tall hitters you tend to get aggressive with. Flip side of that, they figure out it's coming. They've got the strength to muscle the ball over the fence.
Seitzer is 6'5". Here's Eric Ross, the number 9 hitter, the DH today. He's 5'7".
Kid can fly. One strike bunt not out of the question because he has the ability to steal second.
And look at this. Look at the action. Look at that ball moving. I mean, he's actually throwing a breaking ball, but it comes across, sweeps so much like a slider.
That one hit to Werman, and we have just seen the first 1-2-3 inning for Oklahoma today. Virginia coming up in the 8th, down 3.
The NCAA Baseball Super Regionals is presented by Capital One Venture Card, official credit card of the NCAA Men's College World Series, and in part by AT&T, Rethink Possible, and Despicable Me, an animated comedy event in eye-popping 3D, July 9th.
We're back in Davenport Field in Charlottesville, the campus of the University of Virginia. UVA 3 runs down with a couple of innings to go against Oklahoma. If the score holds up, we will have a decisive Game 3 played here tomorrow, with the winner advancing on to Omaha, the World Series starting Saturday. 7, 8, 9 hitters for Virginia. Tyler Cannon, the shortstop, facing Jeremy Urban, who got a inning-ending double play when he came on with 2 on in the 7th inning.
You saw Cannon right there trying to lay down a bunt. Base runners, you're down to your last 6 outs. Very important down 3.
Urban on the mound for the 2nd straight day for the Sooners. Quickly ahead of Cannon, 0-2.
And that's what he's been doing, filling up the strike zone, and that's what you want your, obviously all pitchers, but especially deep in ball games, when you're down to your last 6 outs, make them put it in play, let your defense work.
And he gets him on 3 pitches. 3rd time tonight that Cannon has struck out.
Look, they're just sitting, waiting for something soft on the outside, maybe a change, and they give you the heater on the outside. You know, look at this right here. This is what Virginia's staring at right there. Oklahoma bullpen, 20-2, 14 wins, ERA under 3. That's just flat getting it done.
And Cannon has struck out against 3 different pitchers today, including the starter Zach Neal. Here's Franco Valdez, the catcher. Seitzer drifting over from first, but hits just
not a lot of room over there.
Yeah, I'm surprised it even stayed in that time.
Yeah, as we talked about, you know.
And that's not knowing the ballpark either, because I think Hicks probably runs to it and then sets up. He's drifting, and actually the ball stays in play. Just took the wrong angle on the corner. Very tricky for the opposing player in a field like this. A lot of nooks and crannies. Look how deep Black is playing at second base. I mean, is that second base?
Right field.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Short right. You got the first baseman playing on the grass. So they are definitely playing Valdez to pull the ball.
Saw Ogle right there pound his glove inside to make it sound like they were coming in and shift to the left. Catchers like doing that because hitters set up on sound a lot of times on pitches.
Second strikeout in a row for Urban.
Set up hard on the inside and start that ball on the inside because he's got that little tail way to the outside off the left-handed hitter, just tailed off to him. And Urban's got a little stuff with him.
Yeah, he's a little late life on that ball, and that's what hitters always have trouble catching up to.
Number 9 hitter John Barr, the designated hitter, stepping in. He has a hit today. That was off the starter. And that one finds its way under the glove of Bushyhead for a 2-out single.
Well,
here comes the goose.
Barr, great job right here keeping the inning alive. Comes in the game, 9-hole hitter hitting .372 with a .482 on base percentage. Keeps the inning going.
Last time Phil Gosselin was up, he hit a 3-run home run in the 6th inning. That brought UVA back to 8-7, but then Wren's second homer of the game made it 10-7 in the bottom of that inning. So here's the leadoff man up in another crucial situation. Gosselin also hit a solo shot to open up the game yesterday. This was today.
That brought him within one, brought the crowd back in, but Oklahoma was able to answer.
Actually, it was Max White with that 2-run homer. That was the answer in the 6th. Wren also has 2 homers for Oklahoma today, but it was White who came up with the 2-run blast in the 6th to answer Gosselin's 3-run shot in the top of the 6th.
Shutdown innings are very important. Every time Virginia has scored in this ball game, Oklahoma has answered the bottom of the inning.
Gosselin down 0-2. Virginia out hitting Oklahoma 12-10. They're trailing here by 3 runs with time running out. That one will find the seats.
Almost half of the RBIs for Gosselin this year have come with 2 outs. 25 out of 58 coming in. Of course, he had 3 in the couple innings ago, but this is a guy that's a money player, and this would be a huge out if Urban's able to get it.
And this is a huge pitch. 1-2 count. You want to make the most of this pitch here because you don't want to allow Gosselin to hurt you, but you don't want to pitch around him because if he gets on base and all of a sudden, you know, the next batter coming up can tie this thing, and that Worm doesn't have the power, but Worman's one of those spark type guys. So I think what you want to do is just be smart with your 1-2 pitch. Don't get it to a 2-2, 3-2 count because a guy like Gosselin will just kill you.
Another foul ball out of play.
And that's a nice job of hitting right there. They came in, that's a nasty fastball inside, ties him up, but that's what you do as a hitter with 2 strikes. You fight those off.
Quick wrist. See, he got the wrist around real fast and just wasn't like a fling out there like he was fooled. It was just he's got the bat speed with the wrist just to flick the wrist to fight him off.
Those 12 RBIs are from the leadoff spot, folks. You don't really have to worry about that base runner now. That should not concern you. If you're the pitcher right now, you have got to go after Gosselin. If he gets on, tying run comes to the plate, forget the base runner here.
That's John Barr over at first. Urban delivers the ball.
You know, it's almost to the point now where you think as a coach, Sonny Galloway's probably thinking, yeah, maybe I back my first baseman up. You know, that run means nothing over there, but that runs through coaches' minds in these situations. a great at-bat right here.
One thing that Jeremy Urban has been able to do is get in tight on the wrist of Gosselin. No other Sooner pitcher seems to have the ability to do that. But he's been able to come inside a couple times effectively.
I'd go slider away here.
Gosselin pops it up. Wren in right field camps under it, and they retire the most dangerous hitter in the Cavalier lineup. Oklahoma takes a 3-run lead to the bottom of the 8th. Welcome back to the NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Log on to ncaa.com for all the information you could want about the College World Series. Action gets underway Saturday, June 19th at 2 Eastern, live on ESPN HD. Go to ncaa.com for the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. And what you're going to see if you log on today is that 4 of the top 8 seeds won't be in Omaha. 2 eliminated today. Coastal Carolina and Texas going down today. Virginia, number 5 seed, on the cusp of having to play a decisive 3rd game, which will be tomorrow night here at 7 Eastern time in Charlottesville.
Well, I guess the good news for Cavaliers fans, if they have to play the game tomorrow, this is a team that has not lost back-to-back games all season long. The good news for Oklahoma is this is a team that hasn't lost 2 out of 3 in a series in quite a long time.
Oh, and that one gets right in on the hand of Ellison. It was hit by the pitch. The Virginia folks think it hit the bat.
Well, the hands are part of the bat, and that's what Brian O'Connor is out there arguing. If he offers at it, then the hands are part of the bat. If he does not offer at it, then it's a hit batter. And that looks like how it's being ruled, that he did not offer at it, because that's the key. Now, they're going to talk it over here amongst themselves. Does he offer at it?
Oh, yeah, that's part of the bat.
That has to be considered an offer, because he did not pull his bat back out of the way. I think that's going to get overturned.
Travis Katzenmeyer behind the plate. Chuck Lyon, Fred Cannon, and Mike Conlon all caucusing to try to get this call right.
If you're turning your bat away as if to get out of the way of the pitch, then at that point, if it hits your hand, it's a hit by pitch. It ceases to be part of the bat because you're trying to avoid the pitch. If you're offering at it, now that's an offer. They got it right.
Now Sonny Galloway's turn to come out and complain.
Well, you gotta argue if you're Sonny Galloway here. You just reverse the call now. You gotta say, well, why were you wrong? Because you're the one who called it a hit by pitch. I thought they would overturn it. Sonny's obviously, his question is why.
He is fired up. His assistant, Tim Tadlock, pushing him back towards the dugout.
Yeah, you don't want to get tossed out of this game and future games beyond that. So it's one of those situations where tough call went against you, but you got to go out and question. Anytime they change the call as a coach, you've got to go out there and make a statement. But I think they got it right.
That SOP, standard operating procedure for managers and coaches.
The question here is, did he offer at it? And, you know, the other argument is he was starting to get out of the way of the pitch, but a little bit too late there.
So take away the hit by pitch. Ellison back in the batter's box, down 0-2.
Lefty pitch coming all the way across. Well, fans may have a point. When it crossed the plate, it might have been good, but it can go either way. Coming off of that call, and give him the outside pitch.
And that one hits off the leg of Davis, the pitcher, but a great recovery by Werman to throw him out.
Sonny knows he's got a 3-run lead going into the ninth. 1, 4, 3. Nice job by Werman putting on the brakes and recovering. You see him, he's going to the right to get the ball over the middle. Then he's got to stop on a dime and go to his left. Great play.
Really is a good little ball player over at second base. So one away. Max White, the freshman, up. Had that 2-run shot, big shot in the 6th to counter the 3-run homer by Gosselin that turned the 1-run lead back into a 3-run lead.
I think one of the keys for Brian O'Connor and the Cavaliers right now is if they can continue to allow Davis to finish out this game. You know, if you do lose today, you know, when it comes to bullpen, you'll be on full strength tomorrow. You'll have your closer, you'll have Wilson, who we haven't even seen in the series yet. So I think Davis is doing a good job coming in here, giving them some innings and keeping them in the game.
Tell you, listening to the sound of this crowd right here, they don't think there's going to be a tomorrow. They still think a 3+ inning is about to happen. And that's the way they should think. This kid right here, what a great future he has. And as you said, that cushion home run that he hit was huge in this ball game.
And gets White swinging for the 2nd out of the inning. Kevin Enrico, the closer for Virginia, is doing a little tossing down in the bullpen right now, so maybe they're hopeful that Virginia can come through in the top of the 9th.
Without question, they're having them ready to go just in case. And this is a big at-bat, in my opinion, for Garrett Buechele right here. Hitless so far. He'd like to have a good at-bat. If there's a game 3 tomorrow, he'd like to go in there with that nice feeling that I got a knock going into the deciding game.
The leading hitter for Oklahoma all season is 0 for 6 in the Super Regional.
And just chasing the pitcher's pitches here, and that's kind of what he's been doing the last 2 days. High heat, 2-seamer going away. See if he chases it or bury a breaking ball.
Oklahoma has struggled in this series against the lefties. Holtzen yesterday the starter, and now Davis, who has come in, the big kid from outside of Baltimore. Just 6 for 34 with the 12 Ks. Whew.
That's called bearing down on the hitters. So maybe Oklahoma does have a weakness. It's left-handed pitchers.
Hits that one, but right to Jarrett Parker in center. 2nd consecutive 1-2-3 inning for Oklahoma, but Virginia coming up in the 9th, down 3. ESPN's AL-NL Showdown begins tonight and Monday night. First on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, the Battle of Chicago between the White Sox and the Cubs at 8 Eastern. Then catch 2 of the best hitters in baseball on Monday Night Baseball, 7 Eastern tomorrow. Ichiro and the M's take on Albert Pujols and the Cardinals. Both games part of the AL-NL Showdown presented by State Farm, available on ESPN3.com. That's ESPN3.com. Check it out tonight and Monday. Getting close to Sunday Night Baseball at the top of the hour. Here's Virginia's last opportunity to go to Omaha today, at least.
And going into the 9th inning, down by 3, you wouldn't have thought that this team was down by 3. The crowd was into it. I mean, they're fired up. And can you imagine how loud this place would get if Werman manages to get on base right now? I mean, they still have a sense that they're going to win this game here in the stadium, and that's what great programs should always feel like they can come back at any time.
Another overflow crowd. Werman, the guy who often gets them started, but that's an easy out to Max White.
And that was the importance of the first pitch strike right there. Force him to go to the pitch he didn't want to have to go after. And this is the game within the game. Jeremy Urban, it's his 2nd appearance in as many games. Their closer, Ryan Duke, is nice and quiet in the bullpen. Sonny Galloway does not want to have to bring in Duke here, because when this goes to a third game, if they hold on, he wants to use him for multiple innings tomorrow.
Dan Grobat, the right fielder, had a RBI double back in the first inning. Virginia actually led this game 2-0, but Oklahoma countered with 4 in the bottom of the first. Oklahoma has countered every bottom of the inning in which Virginia has scored in this game. Very resilient. He sends one to short left. The shortstop, Bushyhead, goes out on the outfield grass and catches it for the second out.
This is playing into Oklahoma, because you said, Jay, maybe the chick in the armor is they can't hit lefties, right, Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, they would probably go Brandon Klein, righty, Tyler Wilson, righty, Kevin Orico, righty, tomorrow. So Sonny Galloway's liking the way it looks. He's got his closer. If they could get out of this right now, he's got him rested to go multiple innings tomorrow.
Remind me to tell you what Coach Galloway said after this pitch. Talking to him, he said, I'm going to make it simple for my team. Whoever wins the game today is going to Omaha. I mean, he thinks if they win today, they're winning tomorrow on the way to Omaha because of the momentum. And he could be on to something. That's the confidence you have to have, but they came through.
Well, we saw it last year, Jay, the games we had in Oxford. We saw Virginia go down on the road the first game, come back and win 2 in a row on the road.
Steven Proscia, the last hope for the Cavs.
Well, it's a math problem right now for Virginia. They got to get 2 runners on and bring that tie run to the plate.
Can you hit a 3-run home run with the bases empty?
You cannot. So you got to fight it off here. That's the math problem.
And he gets Proscia looking. Jeremy Urban, spectacular, coming out of the bullpen, and there will be a game 3 tomorrow night at 7 Eastern time here in Charlottesville. Our Capital One player of the game, Cody Wren. 2 home runs, one a 3-run shot, the other a 2-run blast.
Came up huge today, and they did a great job against a hostile crowd. Big statement after Virginia comes up with 2 runs in the first. They answer with 4, and that forces ultimately forces the big game tomorrow. These teams are 2 evenly matched teams. Tomorrow night is going to be outstanding.
We expect Virginia to go with the freshman Brandon Klein, the righty, and Oklahoma has not listed a starter for tomorrow. But a trip to Omaha will be on the line tomorrow night when they play. The winner out of this Super Regional is going to play South Carolina. The Gamecocks coming up with the upset over Coastal. And Arizona State, #1 overall seed, 1 win away from Omaha. So again, our final score, Oklahoma beats Virginia 10-7 to force a decisive game 3 tomorrow. Baseball tonight is coming up next. For those of you looking for more baseball action, Alabama and Clemson playing right now on ESPN2 and on ESPNU. This has been a presentation of ESPN, a worldwide leader in sports. A slugfest here, won by Oklahoma 10-7. For Jay Walker, Nick Belmonte, and our entire production crew, I'm Pam Ward saying so long from Charlottesville.